Hey guys, how are y'all doing? Let me switch over here to the comments and I will say hello. Hey Dazed and Confused. Hey Fruit Loop. Hey Norma Thomas. Who knows? Judy Wheeler. Nelly Bug. PF Oz. Danita Stokes. Ruby Blue. Granny Goose. Lisa Mounts. Look, I'm on top of it today. We're going to let people get in here. Love Wins. How are you doing? Jackie P. Guys, I really appreciate all y'all and how you just come over here at a short notice and support us. We really appreciate it. So I'm going to give it just a second for everybody to get in here, and I'm going to talk about a few things before we get started. I hope everybody's doing good. I'll tell you what, man. I watched that. I think a lot of you guys were in there, but I watched that breakdown of Chris McDonough's interview with Hunter with Benny and Penny from True Crime Commentary and Andrew. I'm telling you what, that was a good interview. They did a good job, guys. If you haven't seen it, I recommend you go watch it. It's pretty informative. I felt like Andrew, that's H's dad, had, I felt like he was being pretty honest and forthcoming. I think there was, might have been a few things like personal stuff that he might not have, really wanted to share about. But I will. Oh, sorry, I got to send a link to somebody real quick. But yeah, you guys got. I mean, check it out. Look, I'm serious. Put your we got to put our feelings aside. Regardless of how you feel about any creator, that's besides the point. We have to put our feelings aside and just watch it. I'm telling you, they really conducted that interview well. They really did. Let me send this real quick to somebody, see if maybe we'll have a guest join us. I can't see the chat right now, guys, because I'm gonna send this email real quick. So that's comments. Hold on one second. I'm trying to find her email. Oh, I got it. Never mind. Durr. Give me just a second, guys. I'm sorry. I've had a busy day today. I'll talk to y'all while I do this. My little girl today, I put my kids on the bus this morning, and by the time I put them on the bus, I drove maybe a mile to the gas station close to my house. By the time I walked in and paid for what I had to get, I had a call from the school, and she had thrown up, and she's bless her heart, she's thrown up all day since I went and picked her up. So it's been a pretty busy day. Let me just tell her I sent this real quick. All right, that took care of that. Let me see what you guys said. Oh, thank you, April King. I did that this evening. I cut my hair myself. I hope I did a good job. Does it look okay? It was about time. Was getting pretty shaggy looking. Let's see, I was going to talk to you about something else too. So, hey Natasha, how are you? Let's see, Nelly Bug. Yeah, it was excellent. That live stream, they did a good job. I mean, they really did. It was very, professionally done. Did I? Cat R, she said, cracking cases I may have misunderstood, but did you say you spoke to this Don Jr. guy on another channel? I was trying to. No, I've never spoke to him. I've been conversing with Senior through emails. He asked. He said he wanted to do an interview yesterday. Then I said we can do it this way, or this way. He then said wanted a telephone number. I sent him a telephone number. I reached back out, and so he's sending a message sporadically, but then he's not getting in touch with me. But that's okay. I just wish that if he feels like we've done something wrong with the information we put out, which I've really tried to be fair with it and just say, hey, this is what's weird about. I'm not turning. We'll hear it on the interviews on this interview when we go over it. The things that are being said. He even stops. He says they're not making accusations. They're just trying to get people to look over here. Well, I do want people to look right there because I want people to see that you are stating yourself that law enforcement has not questioned your son. It came from your mouth, so that's a big deal to me. Hey, Penny, how are you?
Hey, good. How are you?
Doing good. I was trying to send you that link and get all this pulled up, but thank you for coming over. You didn't have to. Uh, I
Thanks
kind
for
of
letting me.
the last at the last minute, I was telling everybody how good that interview y'all did was earlier, and Natasha dropped the link for that live. Everybody was talking good about it. Said y'all did an excellent job.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, that wasn't the most planned out thing, but it worked out really well. I
Look,
just knew as soon as he said that he hadn't heard the whole thing, I was like, oh God, we
that
have
is
to
the
do
best way sometimes. It's just you know to go in it kind of just saying, hey, we're gonna do this and not really plan anything. Uh, I've in my case, and some of the stuff we've done, it's been some of the best stuff because it's real, it's raw, and people aren't, I guess trying to remember things to say. You have to talk about it off off the top of your mind or off your chest, and I
it.
think it becomes, like I said, more raw and truthful. But yeah, you get it was really good, and like I was surprised at the information that came out of that. It was good.
Yeah, we. Whenever I talked to Benny later on, he was like, well, and I was like, yeah.
JSD, yes. Um, all that information has been passed over to the TBI and law enforcement. 100%.
Can you hear me? Okay.
Hey, your volume's really low.
Okay, let me fix it because it was like that earlier and I had to fix it. I don't know why it does that. Let's see.
There it goes. It's getting a little bit better. So I was trying to keep up with everything I was going to talk about before we got started. So I wanted to tell you guys. Go ahead.
Is that better or
Yeah, that's good.
more? All right.
Yeah, I can hear you good. So can you guys hear her good? Wait and see what they say.
Lisa says all good.
Okay, cool.
Yes. Okay, cool.
All right, so let me put it this way. I like it better like that. Okay. Last night, I was reached out uh, from Doug Umno, thanks, and asked if I would be willing to come up and do a live with him. And it was kind of later at night. I didn't see it. I did not see that coming, but I agreed. He said, I want to do a live and really do something where two people that probably wouldn't ever be on the same panel with each other, instead of talking about it, let's do it. And I said, okay. And I didn't know what to expect, but I thought it was really good.
That's
Uh,
good. You were
I
on
thought,
Doug's?
yeah, I was on Doug's last night on No Thanks, and it, I thought that it could not have went any better. I give it to the guy. He's funny. I mean, he had me cracking up.
Yeah.
He
I
he
mean,
wa-
I used to watch him all the time until Jody Sue started going on there, and then I was just like, I'd rather not, just because that's just me personally, because I spent so much time hearing her prior. I didn't want to anymore. So,
well, he I think he's struggled with a lot of the stuff that I've struggled with in my life, and we were able to, he could relate to me about a lot of things that I never thought that we would have in common. It went really good, and he had his opinions. I have mine. He didn't try to push his opinions on me. I was able to share. He actually did very well. Let me share the things that we felt like were important. He was like, "Good job on the stuff that y'all have been working on," and I was, you know, he really seemed to show an interest, and I didn't feel like it was fake or anything, and I was really happy with it, and I just want to tell him thank you for that, and I look forward to doing some stuff in the future with with him and other people, but uh, there was
it's always good to have two people who look at it differently, because, and I say it all the time, you don't ever want to be just, in an echo chamber of the same thing being repeated over and over and over. I feel like it's very useful to have somebody to not always agree with you, just my opinion, but
yeah, it's true, and it actually went well because uh, a lot of the things that I was talking about, he really uh, well, not him necessarily. I found out something last night. He said, I watch everything y'all do, and I was like, he said, I don't comment or get in the chat. I was like, wow. I was like, well, that's cool, man. And he, he did know some stuff, but there was some stuff that he was asking about that he showed interest in, and some people in the chat that I felt like people really didn't know about, because there's this divide, and
hmm
people refuse to look at into people of the opposing side in this true crime community, and I think that has to stop. We have to be able to, regardless of difference of opinion, just because I think this way and you think that way doesn't mean we have to hate each other.
right,
It doesn't
exactly.
it doesn't have to be a competition. It doesn't have to always think that somebody's out to get you. um and I've really tried this past few weeks, and people were like, "Oh, you're trying too hard." No, I'm not. I'm trying to set an example. Any free time I get, I will go over to a channel I haven't, I'm not familiar with, or maybe that they have a different opinion. And it's hard sometimes to go in a chat where people are just going to hate you, and
Yeah, and that's that. Yeah, exactly. That is true. And also, sometimes, especially whenever it's a really fairly large channel like Doug's, people, you know how it is when you go into somebody's chat and like all of chat stops and starts saying, "Hey Cam, hey Cam, hey Cam, hey Cam," and it's like it totally distracts. I feel like so. I mean, I get why he kind of quiet watches, because if he
yeah,
goes into a chat somewhere, it like completely just it shifts. And I think that's the same for any creator going into a chat. So I get that.
it really I agree with you 100%, and I understand how why he does it. He does comment from time to time, but it's very few and far between. So that's why I guess I didn't realize that
Mhm.
he was over here. But there was another channel that I promoted the day before last, and uh, I just want to tell them, if they're watching, uh, I'm sorry if there was anything that I thought I'd left on good terms, and uh, I think there was some miscommunication. I'm not going to just put their name out there, but they know who I'm talking about, and I just I really appreciated them. I talked about some issues that had in my past with me uh, um, being going. I had been a victim of SA, and I shared that on their channel. Uh, and I didn't mean to. I kind of was asked about the stuff with, how do I, this was the question, how do you, how are you able to talk to Don knowing that he's done that to his sisters? And I said, this is my answer. I said, I guess it wasn't liked. I said, I choose to not, that's not what I came in here this for, was to be on, to deal with that. I wanted to help find Summer. I tried to not focus on that because I still have a ton of issues in my life with healing from the things that happened to me. I didn't talk about it publicly till I started my channel, and I knew that, I just put it all out there, everything about myself, because I knew I didn't want to have anything for anybody to grab and say, look, you didn't tell us about that or something, or somebody, how evil it is. Somebody come up and say, well, he has a secret, this, I didn't want that. So I shared it, and just told the bare minimum. But that night is the first time I actually talked about what actually happened to me. I got really nervous with that question because, I don't know how to, I have a problem right now talking about, I don't know how to, I guess, to even address it or go into it. I can't think about it because it upsets me. And, that's why I choose to not go into that. If this was my answer, if he did those things, then he needs to be held responsible for them. And, I feel like that's what a court of law is for, and they're going to go through that. If that happened and there is, and they take it to court and charges are pressed, then, that's something he has to deal with. But that I came in this to help find a 5-year-old little girl. I wanted to be part of search efforts. I didn't want to get into all that side of it. And I don't know if that makes sense. I feel like I have that choice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it does. It makes sense.
But they actually, they did a good. They helped me. The two people that run that channel, they helped me. They said, he, as a man, he probably doesn't know how to be passionate and talk about it the way to everybody's liking, and that might be the case. But at the same time, I've become numb to it, and I tried to, I felt like that person that did that to me stole my masculinity. I still have had problems through my life, even with my wife, with intimate things. I've been with her 10 years, and she still doesn't understand me. And we're working on that. But that's a hard subject to talk about. But I'm not going to get into that. There was some miscommunication, and I think they had felt a different way. I went over there to tell them thank you, and they'd done a live, and I was like, wow, I didn't, I felt like it went the different way. So if they're listening, I'm sorry if I've done anything wrong, and maybe we can talk and figure it out.
Well,
anyway,
Cam, my hope for you would be that you stop apologizing to people so much.
That's true.
Some people, apologize when you're wrong. And if you're not wrong, then you don't need to apologize for, I guess, them making it something it's not. I don't know who you're talking about, but I just don't want you to feel like you need to apologize, especially for something like that.
Right. But I think that they were kind of they didn't know how to handle me. I showed up in their chat. I felt like they felt like something nefarious was going on because I was there. And I tried to share with them when I went up on panel that, no, I was, I was bored and I was looking around and I was trying to just see what was going on over here. This is one thing I told them when I went over there. I thought that their name, it's Krama Mama is their name. I thought that Chasing had shared one of their videos on her community section because I remember seeing a mama or name in it. So I was like, oh, I know who that channel is. So I went in there and I told them I thought that's what it was, but it wasn't. But still I stayed, and they have a good idea what they got going on. They are they're taking I shared a little bit of it about this. I want to make sure I say it right. They're taking all the information from this case, and they're taking the link of the creator and timestamp like in a live, so you don't have to watch a 5-hour, 6-hour, 3-hour, 2-hour, 1-hour live. You can go straight to that timestamp, get that information, and they're going to have it cataloged.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, really good, really good. And they have done, they've done good research, and I thought that they have a bright future ahead of them. But they,
Yeah, that is pretty cool.
a great idea, because I don't know how many times that I know you probably too, you've thought about something, you're like, where did I even see that? And you don't even know where to look.
Right. Especially like if like Jody Sue, for example. If you remember hearing something she said, but you don't know where exactly she said it because she's been everywhere all the time, it's like, well, where was this? Where would I even grab that from? It's like, I like that idea. That's a good idea. I'm glad somebody's taking that on. That's a very big task.
It is, and there's more to it. I'm not even giving it justice the way that they described it and showed. They even showed how they were doing it. I'm not even giving it justice the way how good they're doing. And maybe if actually they just text me on this text now number and said that they would like to talk. So that's good. We're trying to talk privately and work things out. That's the way it should go. So I can't wait. I'm trying to lead by example, and even if it's just me, one person at a time, change somebody's feelings about one thing. Maybe they don't agree 100%. They still don't like me, but I'm going to keep trying. I'm going to lead by example. I'm going to treat everybody the same, and I'm going to try to be somebody that everybody can work with, and we can all get along. And if they need something, hey, do you know something about this? They holler at you. There shouldn't be no, we can do great things together. We can take information and I've seen some of the best research through this thing, through just the short time I've been here. And I know that people could put that information together and really, do big things for these cases. You can give peace to people's hearts, especially families. I learned that through Tegan's dad in Alaska. You can help somebody and not even know that you're helping them in the I guess in the capacity you are, and that's a good feeling. It really is. Just to cover somebody's case that reaches out and then say, the family member says, well, nobody's talked about my family's case in 4 years. Just to sometimes say, yeah, I'll go over it and maybe share it on a live stream, just a 5-minute thing, and get the word out. That means the world to some people.
Yeah.
Good stuff. We got to put all this this negative energy aside and focus on positive stuff. Anyway, moving on. Guys, if I've missed anything through this, I went back to kind of look. I'm sorry that I've missed a few things. Nelly Bug, I got you. Alicia Paz, got you. And if you have a question for either one of us, tag us. Tag us in the chat and we'll try to answer. Or tag a mod and they'll get our attention. So I'm going to bring up this information, or this what we're going to do. And I was kind of debating real quick on what I was going to bring up first. And I think it's going to be this one right here. This is a WJHL story that was, I just saw it actually while I was putting this live together. It popped up. And I've noticed this is becoming a problem in this area where, Summer calls home, I call home, my wife calls home, my children call home. And it's starting to become a frightening thing. So when I pull this up, y'all feel free to give me your thoughts on it too. Here it is. Okay. I paid finally for YouTube Premium, so we should not have commercials anymore. I was on Manimal, and he was like, "Bro, come on, it's $7." He was like, "You want me to pay for your your premium. I was like, he made me feel this big. I was like, no, I'll pay for it. I promise. I'm playing commercials out the butt. Oh, thank you, Brandy. I appreciate that.
Hey,
And
Brandy.
we do. You really do. You help a lot of people. You're in. I see you modding in so many chats, and I know that's got to be rough. On call all the time.
Yeah.
Oh, Ziggy Valera, thank you so much. Let's see, guys. Did anybody ask any questions before I start this? Because I won't be able to see once I go over here.
Jackie P says, "What? I pay 12."
That's all right. It it's the same to me, man. It's the thought that counts, guys. I appreciate everything. All right,
No,
I'm gonna
she was
push.
saying she pays 12 for premium.
Oh, is that how much it is? I told
Yeah.
Allison, I was like, "Oh, it's only $7. Go ahead and pay for it." She probably didn't tell me, to be honest with, because I'm a cheap butt. I'm like, "No, we'll wait.
You're right.
We'll wait. We'll maybe have enough maybe next month." And we never. Yeah. So I'm gonna play this, guys, and y'all. I guess if you want to give the opinions after, it's not very long.
That was Deborah Alferone reporting. Deborah, thank you. Now, the former Southwest Virginia police officer sentenced to 3 months in prison after entering a plea deal for charges of indecent liberties with a child. A Virginia State Police charged former Appalachia police officer Benjamin Lawson in 2019 with 3 counts of indecent liberties with a child by a person in a custodial or supervisory relationship. You can see his picture there on your screen. Lawson entered the Alford plea, which recognizes that there may be enough evidence for a guilty verdict, but the defendant does not admit to criminal acts. Lawson will serve 3 months in prison with more than 4 years suspended.
You know what I'm doing right now? I'm running his background.
Yes, please do.
Tomorrow strive for the best.
I'm like, what is really going on? 3 months? Okay, and the reason I wanted to show that right there is
What city was that in, Cam?
they said Southwest Virginia, so he was a Virginia state trooper. He worked for and I put the link in the description below, guys. So that video is down there, and the one that we'll go over is down there too. But you want me to pull it back up and play it again?
No, I was just trying to see what city because it just narrows down my search quite a bit. But
here, I'll read it real quick. It'll have the information right here. I'll tell you. What on earth? Oh.
That was Deborah Alferone reporting. Deborah, thank you. Now, of indecent, Virginia State Police charged former Appalachia police officer Benjamin Lawson in 2019 with 3 counts of indecent liberty.
Benjamin Lawson.
Does it say how old he is?
Yeah.
How old?
I'm 49.
With a child.
Okay, got him.
I have actually seen that state trooper before. So when I pulled that up, I was like, I have seen that dude. So I the sad thing is, will he be able to get out and get his become an officer again? Because he has an Alford plea. Does that go on his record? Is that why they did it that way? So he can continue to be in law enforcement?
Is he Benjamin Roger Lawson?
Age
49.
Yep, that's it.
How is he a state trooper? He's got a record.
He is, I guess, unless they have let him go, but they gave him an Alford plea, which is, what they give people like the Staircase, that guy, a lot of high profile cases, they instead of or somebody that gets exonerated, instead of actually just saying they're not guilty, they'll make them sign an Alford plea, which is they don't have to admit guilt, but they're also not getting told they're not guilty. Right?
Hold on, Cam. I'm going to screenshot this and send it to you real quick. This is what?
All right.
Wow.
Hey, thank you, Don. Hey, thank you, Like the Morning. You know who you are. Thank you so much for that. Sent me a $20 cash app. All right. Let me look. Guys, let me look at this real quick. All I got was the cover picture.
No. Look at the charge.
Yeah, that's
Look at the
did
date.
you
Look at
the
the
date?
date.
What on earth? And he's just now.
I'm gonna download this whole little file and send it to you on email. Figure you probably want to see it.
Yeah, I haven't been verified. I can run it on that too. But I've noticed something with been verified sometimes, and I found this out by running Sherfy Jr.
Mm.
When you pull the criminal background, sometimes it won't show you it, and it'll say this is locked, and I didn't understand that. As if I even ran my own just to see if it worked, and of course mine worked. But
Yeah, this is the right Benjamin. He hasn't his little record hasn't been wiped yet. I've noticed that some people are too clean.
this is the right Benjamin. This is him. And the funny thing is, you know what he's done for this to be okay. So I'll tell everybody the offense date on that was December 1st, 2018. He is just now, going to serve his sentence, and which is only, what they say, 3 months or 4 months, 3 months.
Yeah, 3 months.
So what I guarantee you he's done is he's continued it so that he could work. They've continued it. Because I'm pretty sure to be, especially a Virginia state trooper, that you have to have a pretty, and it might even be that they can't even have a charge, but I know for a fact they can't be convicted.
Well, he's got a long. I mean, some of it's stuff like expired registration, like allowed load to leak. I guess that's defective equipment, 2 tires, and then there's the vehicle maintenance, expired registration, and then there's
Does it go back a long time?
Yeah, and one of them's not specified. Then there's this one, indecent act with child by parent. Then there's an assault and battery of a family member, and in danger of life, limb, or I don't know, reckless driving.
That's him. How can you be a Virginia State Police?
And this is 2019, Cam. It says assault and battery with family member, assault with family member, reckless driving, endangering life and limb, arrest by force, indecent act with a child by parent. So this is 2019. The one that I sent you was 2018.
Yeah. That's crazy. To be quite frank, that's crazy. Yeah, send that to me. But the reason I even wanted to bring this information up is I was actually talking to Vinny just a little bit ago, and I was, he showed me something about even a Sullivan County officer that had been in trouble for stuff, and I think you know who I'm talking about, Penny. Has time, and I don't know about talking about that information yet, but it's somebody that would be close to even the Summerwell's case. Yeah, we were talking about that, and I'd never heard of that individual. Then that on the news comes up, and then what is going on in this area that all these, SA acts on minors and stuff are becoming more prevalent. It's not me, believe me, because I'm getting accused of, oh, you're putting the direction where you want it for Don Wells. No, I'm not. I'm pointing out the obvious. It's happening since this happened with Summer, and even to go back to because we had the Evelyn Boswell case first, then Summer case. That's really the biggest 2 things that have happened in this area, and I can't tell you how long. Those things just don't happen here. It hasn't been like that. And it was actually a really safe place to live. A lot of people, raise their kids here because it is safe. Well, since even Summers went missing, they've had, the trafficking roundups, multiple ones. the TBI has conducted them, and you have law enforcement officers, the people that are, hired to protect us from those things, being convicted of them, and that's I don't understand, and we're not going to do a whole live on that. I'm not gonna just sit and I'm not trying to criticize the police, but especially with it kind of falls into what we're talking about tonight with this interview that we're going to break down. Allison, one of you guys in the chat sent us the inherited immunity. That's a real thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about, Penny?
Yeah. Whenever you have a family member in law enforcement, and it's just kind of, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So,
Yep.
and I think that's a big reason why Junior has not been questioned. Maybe that it's not law enforcement. Maybe they just well, we don't. They questioned the father. But he's ex law enforcement, so he's not. They ran his alibi. Was it because maybe the son was just never brought up? Mr. Sherfey lives. He has a different address than out on Ben Hill. His girlfriend lives on Ben Hill. He also has an address somewhere else, and he's going to talk about that. So
he wouldn't pop up, right? Because he's not in the registry yet. So
No, oh yeah, well that's another point too. Yeah, and I said that from the get-go. He they can't check all the registered SOs in the area. They can, but he's not going to be on there.
Right.
Till he's convicted, he can do what he wants. He's skating.
So if Senior was questioned just because he lives right there directly, in the area, then I don't think he would volunteer his son's name as somebody to check out.
Right, and they're Benny messaging right there. I'll tell you guys, I invited him because of what they had done earlier. I didn't know if Penny was busy, and she offered to come over here. And Benny, he was passed out. He sent me a text.
I knew it. I knew it. He's always that man. I'm gonna take a nap.
I'm gonna ask him. He said, bro, I apologize. Sat down, passed out. I said, it's all good. And he said, did you do it? I said, I'm on there now. I'm gonna see if I'll say, you want to come up? Yeah, you guys. I mean, really, and I'll tell you to be completely honest. Watching, he did a really good job. With the
yesterday.
way he conducted it. And do what?
Did you see the live from yesterday where it was spur of the moment thing? And I tell you, that interview that he did yesterday that was not in any way planned even 5 minutes ahead of time. That was it was just straight off the cuff, and it was a really good interview.
Yeah, and that's what I didn't get to see. That I didn't even know that was going on yesterday. He said he's just going to come up. He said, I'm going to come up and come over and hang out and be familiar. He said, so yeah, just the way that he was, the way he was breaking it down, the way he was describing it. And I mean, it was really good. It was very easy to follow along with. And I didn't, I was sitting in the chat watching with everybody else and was able to even follow along in the chat, talk to people, and pay attention. So y'all did great, and a lot of good information. Andrew did a good job too. I'll give him that.
Yeah.
And I don't know much about him. Y'all probably know more because I haven't paid attention to that. But yeah, there was a lot.
I was hearing a lot of what he said for the first time, because I mean, he does have a channel. I think he goes live quite often, actually. But I typically if it's not my select few that I'm sub to, I kind of just watch everything else on a clip channel. So I really, really appreciate clip channels. Love them.
I do too. I do too. This hair gal, yes, and we're gonna get into this. And I want to make sure that people know that I am not saying that Junior is involved in the Evelyn Boswell case. All I've said was, this is what I said. It said it's funny how Junior is living at the time when he gets arrested, and he's living in Sullivan County on Muddy Creek Road, 8 minutes away, on the same road as where Evelyn Boswell was found, and her grandparents and even her mother had lived out there. And then you have Senior living on, staying with his girlfriend and that part of the family 2 minutes away from where Summer lives. That's there's coincidences bother me when it comes to stuff like this.
Yeah.
And just the way that these cases are very few and far between.
Yeah.
So and there might not be nothing there. Well, then I looked even deeper. Okay,
Oh boy.
Junior and Megan Boswell go to court on the same date, same docket time, same judge. I was like, no way. Then this interview comes out, and I listen to it, and y'all will hear this. Senior says, well, the reason that they have the same time is because there was an open slot. What do you mean open slot? It's the same time, same 9 o'clock on this date. He then goes, he stops midway because I feel like maybe he just stops halfway. I'm not going to go in. I'm not going to speculate. But he then goes on to say, yeah, but they're both going to be continued. I said, how do you know that? Megan Boswell, how do you know her case is going to be continued? How do you know what's going on in it? I felt like for too high profile, well, hers is high profile, his is pretty serious, and to have those two at the same time, I'm like, is there a connection between? I question. That's me personally, not as the information I'm putting out. I'm saying me personally, I question that.
I would question you if you didn't question that.
Right. Something is, that how, and we're going to get into it. Listen, when you guys hear this second part, if you didn't listen to the first part, please go watch that video. If you're in here, and you haven't been following along with this information, please watch the first interview. It's just, and you have to be a kind of, Benny pointed this out to me on just one thing. There are so many blatant inconsistencies that you really have to be sharp and listen for the ones that might be trying to be hidden. Okay. Because you'll miss them. I assure you, because there's so many, one after another. Why are you saying that? Where did that come from? I'm going to
and that's strange though. Like you said earlier, you said you were surprised at how many contradictions, being that he should at least know, like, not to do that since he was law enforcement. So
yeah, and you're going to hear, and if you didn't follow this, the first interview, I really thought, I was like, maybe I thought this was scripted, because when the call happens, he answers. She says, is this Don Sherfey Sr.? He says, yes, it is. He said, I'd like to talk to you about Summer Well case. He just starts, wow, didn't even ask who it was, who was calling. Just starts laying it out there. And then halfway through, he said, who'd you say you were again? And she said, well, actually, I'm a YouTuber. And I'm like, wow, you're former law enforcement and you just throw it out there? Yeah. Hold on 1 second. Let me talk to my boy real quick.
Jimmy Risner, he went over that a little bit earlier, that he went over on Doug's, just because he feels like everybody should probably, even if they feel differently about something or take a different approach, that there's no reason people can't still get along. And so he invited him, so he went. And I think that is great. Nothing wrong with that.
I'm getting it pulled up here, guys. Sorry, my son came in here, and I told him, I said, I don't mind that you're in here, but at this point, I'm talking about stuff that you You don't need to hear, buddy. And I know that they just want. Have you noticed your kids like this? Like right when you're like, you be with them all day, but right when you're doing something important, they're like, I got to be right there with you. Right there on. And so
No, mine are a little bit older now. So my oldest
Good.
is 13 now. So
Oh,
I
okay.
mean, yeah, I have to bug them. So
Mine are 8 and 6. Just turned. My little girl just turned 6.
yeah.
So that's why, like I said, and people don't know, that's why this is so, hit so close to home for me. Because I can only imagine if it was my child, and then but okay. So can y'all see that?
Hmm.
All right. So anything we use on here is under Fair Use Act. I have it in the description, but I'm actually going to go a little farther, and I'm going to read the Fair Use Act because I was told if I use this second interview that I'm going to get struck and that I'm in the wrong. So I'm going to read it just for my peace of mind. Uh, so give me just a second to pull this up, and we're going to go over exactly what it says, and then I'll start. Pretty much says I have the use to, or have the right to, use the content for criticizing. I better read it because I'm gonna butcher it.
I just share it on screen. Just pull it up and share that.
All right,
So you don't
copyright.
have to read it.
I already got that. I already got that one thing, Sharon? So
What?
I'll just
The face? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I'll just read it real quick. Copyright disclaimer under, it's in my description, so it's in the right place. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purpose such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Okay, so there's that part out of the way. And I'm going to start this, and we just listen.
Whose channel is this, Cam?
All the accusations.
This is Prayer Garden of America's.
Oh, okay. All right, sorry.
Yeah, this is so you're going to hear it's. I'm going to make sure I get it right here at the beginning, because I'm not going to play all this for sure. Gosh, it's got to be right there.
These people are seeking to get because of all the evilness that they've done.
Candace not even married. Candace is a Bly. She's not even a Wells.
I understood that they got married.
Last I heard, they weren't married. Last I heard, they still didn't have custody of their other 3 kids. They was in state custody.
Oh, yes, their children are in state custody right now as me and you speak.
So they lost custody of them. And, that right there, just and innuendos they're putting out.
Again today. So I just want to put that out there. And
sorry,
and
guys, I want to make sure I didn't miss
him.
anything.
He don't want to speak to Cam Alli. He wants nothing to do with them.
That's not true.
So, if their butt hurt because he wouldn't answer their phones or texts, that's just too bad. This man's got better sense than to speak with them. He knows what they're about. And
let's be very clear. Once you guys hear this, we'll see who has better sense, please.
Why is she being so hateful? What did I miss?
I don't know. I never, because she says that that I'm doing this, that Don had hired us to bring this information out. She has this extreme hate for me and Allie, and I didn't know it was this deep of a hate till I listened to all of this. I actually went over there last night and I said, if you would like to come over and speak to me on a live stream, I said, you're more than welcome to. I came across this information because I felt like it's important for Summer's case. that if people like this, especially that live, when I saw it and I saw where the addresses were and everything, I was like, surely he's been questioned. Well, it did not take me long to get my answer, because on part 1 of this interview, he says he didn't have nothing to do with, but he has the same name as I do, so he ain't hard to find. So they must not think he had anything to do, because they ain't even questioning him. 8 months. And if y'all did, I think Penny, you did see the charges, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're raw. They're rough. Pretty rough.
Isn't it common for these people, like people like that who do bad things, to name every generation the same name? Like, there's so many of the same name, it kind of confuses the system anyway.
I don't know, but I did look up. I did find something through, and I didn't even know Ben Verified did this. They told me why the name Don was so popular and what year, and it was very, very. It was like the 14th most popular name in 1954 to 50 to 60. So I was like, that's why there's 5 of them down there.
Wow, that's interesting.
There is 5 Dons in this case now.
So far, yeah.
Guys, I'm trying to check out. Hey, Benny, you in here, man? I didn't even see you, bud. Okay. Make sure that Natasha and mods, if you don't care to get any questions that I miss or something, because I'm going to be over on this other screen. I don't know if I hit. Can I hit the space bar on other screen, Penny, and start that video?
I don't know, Cam.
My luck, it'll shut down my whole thing. So I'm like, yeah, it does it all the time. All right, here we go.
What they're doing.
But yeah, they're aggravating me and they're making me mad with all the accusation and innuendos they're putting out there. But
yes,
I don't know what I can do. All I can do is tell my story. I've been cleared by the TBI.
Well, I know that there's a lot of people right now. Alli, because of her son Hunter, is threatening to sue the Wells for restitution because they have caused their son a lot of pain and misery. And there's going to be others that's going to be seeking restitution once the truth comes out. And
well, they're going to get nothing. They don't have anything.
Well, they got that land up there. They got that land.
Well, yeah.
And
those,
and they may, it's in Donald Wells' name, and to be honest with you, he may end up losing it all to pay off the restitution that all these people are seeking to get because of all the evilness that they've done.
Candace is not even married. Candace is a Bly. She's not even a Wells.
I understood that they got married.
Last I heard, they weren't married. Last I heard, they still didn't have custody of
Somebody,
kids.
I'll answer this real quick. Somebody in the chat said that's a lie. Nobody's been cleared. Well, Penny, you might be able to help me with this. You remember back at the beginning, there was one guy that had a red truck that was out of town working. They talked about that actually his alibi was worked out, and he, because they did clarify he was out of state. I don't know if you remember hearing that, but that was.
Oh, how did that truck come into talks? Because I do remember there was a red truck found somewhere else, but it was actually registered to a property on Ben Hill. But then there was also a red truck. I think somebody took a picture of it at the police station.
I believe this is him, because this right here, a little tidbit of information, and I think it's in this one that he confirms it. His son and him drive a red truck. And that's I don't know if there's anything to that. Coincidence? Is it him that was cleared because his alibi? He's going to go into that. Thank you, Jacqueline J, for becoming a member. We appreciate it. Yeah, so he's gonna talk a little more about that. I don't. Where was I at when I said Jacqueline J? I don't. Do you remember?
No, I was texting Benny. Sorry.
Oh, you're good. Look, we're just gonna push play. We'll get to it. Look, I want to tell y'all this. So for somebody who don't like to write, I don't pick up a pen. There was so much information in this. I filled up 4 pages. Myself wrote 4 pages of stuff that I found as
I'm gonna go grab a notebook. Oh, goodness, my knees.
inconsistent. Yeah. So I'll let you do that. You want me to wait for you a second?
No. I'm right here. Go ahead.
Okay.
Oh, yes, their children are in state custody right now as me and you speak.
So they lost custody of them. And, that right there just, it shows me that the TB or the law enforcement field knows something.
Yes, they do.
What's up, Benny?
The agent with TBI asked me, he said, with my law enforcement background, he said, how would you go to, treating Summer? And I said, I know that a lie detector test is not valid. You can't use it in court.
You are so right on that issue. You are so right.
This guy's smart.
Yeah. Okay. So this is actually Benny. I'm so glad you came up at this time.
Tell them what you think.
Yeah, man. I let him listen to this little part earlier, and he hasn't even heard. I just kind of explained the stuff that I had picked up. Tell everybody what you picked up from just that, because I missed that.
What I heard was, that it's from ex-law enforcement. He in all theory.
You cut out, buddy.
Be very supportive of the ideal of the polygraph. For him to not be, for him to say that it's kind of dismiss it and say it's not admissible is sort of a play in defensively towards his son, I believe, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good point.
That is a good point. And, because I just thought it was weird how he said, as talking to the TBI officer, and he asked me due to my law enforcement background.
Yeah.
What was?
Sorry, I was trying to switch in between. I thought we were at that point. Yeah, that to me is a complete dereliction of anything, investigative whatsoever. Because when you look this guy up, he's a corrections officer. Stuff like that. So he really isn't on the investigative trend of all of or of any of this.
That's right. And this is, and so anybody that's in here that doesn't know about this, I went over his career stuff. He worked for Sullivan County in the 90s for 3 years as a reserve deputy. Then he worked for Hawkins County for 8 months as a corrections officer. He and for Prayer Garden to say that he doesn't want any contact with us and he doesn't want anything to do with us. So he's emailed me back and forth pretty regularly because I've asked him. I asked him before I even released this information. I reached out and said, "Hey, would you like to tell your side of the stuff before I do this?" He never got in touch with me. As soon as 2 days after I put out 2 lives on this information, then he came back with the email that said, you got my work history so wrong. That's what he cared about, was his work history, because I left out. He said he worked for Unicoi County for 22 years, and then talked about his son in one sentence, and then sent a correction email and said, actually, I only worked for Unicoi County for 12 years. Thank you.
And Unicoi, sorry to interrupt. Unicoi wasn't anything more than glorified prisoner transport. That's all it is.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
He looks familiar to me.
Thank you, Alita Pringle. Yes, and I read your email, and I will get back to you. I'm having a hard time. I have so many emails, but I will respond. Go ahead, Penny.
I was just saying he looks familiar to me, and in all of the pictures that I've looked at, quite a lot of people, he looks very familiar to me, and I never looked into him.
Gary Merkos. That's
No.
Well, yeah, Gary Marcos gained quite a bit of weight, but
Well, it'd take a lot, but well, not because this guy, how he's big or than Gary. I'm just
Right.
saying Gary Merkos has depleted to almost nothing. So
well, I know that his height. He says he's a big old boy. I know that his height. It's like I think he's
It's
about.
not big.
No, he's about 5'5". It looks about like 5'1" when he walks up. The
I
mall.
feel like I
He wasn't a whole
have
lot
seen
taller than the
him.
mailbox.
I'm gonna look real quick. I feel like I've seen him on Gary Lawson profile before.
Well, Doug, I think Doug for last night. Sorry, guys. Hold on 1 second. That's my wife. Oh Lord, that's loud. Hold on,
I'd like
baby.
to add momentarily that you would think that him being an ex-law enforcement, that he would certainly be motivated to come over and talk to Cam, who actually is sort of on the relative cutting edge of what's going on with this stuff socially. I do find it odd when you have these people that really paint themselves in height of performance and all, that don't search out the more reputable channels to handle this information on. This is this guy's clearly
Go ahead. I just said he had an
clearly
opportunity.
unaware of who she is.
Yeah, he has no clue, and
None.
there is so many myths. And I, if she's listening, I encourage her to come up here, and if she wants to talk to me about it, there is so many unfactual statements that she makes during this, and I do not think that's fair. And I feel like that if, especially with an interview like this, that there needs to be at least stuff that is 100% factual when you're referencing things to do with this case.
Another good point.
But
another good point when it comes to this stuff, Cam, is like it's sort of like looking at MRI images, right? It's you get one you get one idea, and then you get another idea, and then you kind of do a comparison and see where the chips land.
Yeah.
I would certainly encourage this gentleman, if he's going to come out on Miss Sissy's channel, to please come over and fancy us on Cam and Alli's channel, please, because I certainly think that when you let Sissy dictate a call to a gentleman that has some information, she's not qualified to do that as much as some of the other people in this community.
Well, I'm going to read something to you guys right now, and I read this to you earlier, and because the thing is, he's been conversing back and forth, and he asked me for a phone number. It's like he's been almost. He said, yeah, I will do an interview. Actually, I'm going to read it to you real quick. And somebody told me how to be able to show an email without giving people an email address. You have to forward it and then white out the lettering. I can't do all that right now. So this is gonna be real with you. So we're gonna I'll read what has been said in this. I reached out beforehand and I said, look, we have done a lot of work in that area. We tried to be very we try to be use integrity with everything we do. We have worked with private investigators. We've worked with this. I said, I don't want to publicize anything until we go over it. And like I said, I waited a good amount of time before we even released that information. I felt like he didn't care. So as soon after the second day of us bringing out the second live of the information we brought out, he then he replies with this message here. I have watched your YouTube footage and you have no clue what you're talking about. My law enforcement career was longer than you reported. I was with Sullivan County for 3 years, which I reported on the first day, Hawkins County for 8 months, and I left there due to threats upon me by inmates and co-worker was involved. What you didn't talk about was my nearly 22 years with Unicoi County, where I was appointed a special deputy by the judge as the military liaison in charge of picking up the men and women in the Tennessee Army National Guard with charges filed against them for the military. I do live on Ben Hill. I don't live on Ben Hill. sorry, I lost my spot. I don't live on Ben Hill Road. I live in Sullivan Garden. My girlfriend and her mom live over there. I visit on the weekends. On the day that Summer went missing, I was in Maryland, which has been verified by the TBI. He says verified here. He very blatantly said he was cleared on there.
He also said that he only goes there on the weekends, but I'm pretty certain that the day that he met up with Molly and them was on a weekday, because they were only operating on weekdays when they could hassle government civic offices.
That's right, because their first stop when they came in was the TBI, and they were supposed to be closed that day.
Absolutely. So that's already kind of going against that. He doesn't just go there on the weekends. He absolutely goes there during the week.
And we're not saying it's 100%. Don't quote us on that, but I think we're saying we think that maybe that will be a good thing. We actually tried to look into that in the way that they were uploading their videos. The days on it. Yeah. So I'll read the rest of this one. He says, so I get all of that at first. This is what I get about his son. The main thing that I had a question about, the one thing. As for my son, he made a mistake. He has been charged and he is out on bond. He lives with me. He was not, in capital letters, not involved in either Evelyn Boswell case nor the Summer Wells case. I very clearly said that I never accused him of being involved with the Evelyn Boswell case. At the point when this happened, I had never said anything but, hey, look at the distance from where he lives. Junior lives to Evelyn and Senior lives to Summer. That's all I said. Okay, so he then goes on to say, the Evelyn Boswell case nor the Summer Wells case. He hasn't been to my girlfriend's home since late 2020, early 2021. So we need to be more specific there, because June is one of the early months of 2021. Where he was with me, my youngest son, and my grandson. All my son does is go to work, visit his mom, stay at my house. He doesn't go anywhere else except court and therapy. Please.
And he also uploads thousands of child images.
Yeah, yes, he does in his spare time, and I'm sure that he had a secret life there that y'all didn't know about. And if you did know about it, then that's a huge problem.
Absolutely.
Well, yeah. He then says at the end of this one, please tell the truth instead of putting negative thoughts into your listener's head. Sir, I'm gonna argue you there and say I am telling the truth. I'm telling all public information, and I'm just putting out things that would be alarming to anybody, that especially people that are involved in a case that the evidence hasn't gone, there isn't anything except for this child is gone. I think that it's very okay to look at anything. And honestly, if he didn't have anything to do with it, I would gladly say, yeah, I'll clear my name. I'll come up right now. Yeah, let's talk about it. Okay. So then the second email directly after that, he says, correction to my Unicorn County time. It was nearly 12 years. Thanks. So
that's crazy. He's downing you for not being articulate, but then he adds on a whole extra 10 years of tenure to his work history without proofreading it and sending it.
Yeah. So I replied back and I said, sir, we will gladly clear things up. If you didn't notice, we didn't say that he was involved in either case. We know that Megan has been charged in Evelyn's case. He then replies back, I will give you one interview. How do I reach? I said, sounds good. How would you like to go about the interview? Off the record, record or live? I said, I can send you a link to my StreamYard and we can conduct that interview there. He says, give me a phone number to call you at. I give him a phone number and say, call me anytime, even tonight. And then I get nothing back. And this is on February 2nd now. he then, so later on that night, I said, I sent you my phone number waiting for you to call. And I then resent my phone number again. And I've still yet to hear anything. So there's that part of it. I just want it to be to be known that, she claimed that this man doesn't want anything to do with us, and that he knows better and he hates us. Well, he might do so. That might be true, but, he has conversed and reached out to us. So, there's the proof of that. Let's keep going real quick.
Now, what was your name again?
I'm a YouTuber. They call me Prayer Garden. It's Prayer Garden. GA. RDEN of America.
What was that first name?
I was muted. Sorry.
Prayer Garden, or what you say it was?
Prayer.
Prayer Garden.
Yes, Pray. Yes, Garden. It's my YouTube channel is under Prayer Garden of America.
Okay.
And I will be tonight getting this out there, letting people understand that, your son, like as you said, yeah, he messed up, but you know what? It has nothing to do with this case, and it's bullshit that they're trying to throw your son under the bus. Because they have no one else right now they're able to throw under a bus.
Well, I'm a big old boy.
Can I say something really quick?
If they want to come at me, they can come at me.
Yeah, go ahead. I was muted right there. I said, just remember. Go ahead, Benny.
It's strange to me how she labels Donald Jr.'s transgressions as just mistakes and not being involved in this case. But when it comes in terms to Donald and his mistakes that don't have anything to do with this case, she doesn't give it the same care, so to speak.
Not at all. I was muted when I was trying to say this. I muted it, or I paused it, and I was talking my butt off and was muted. But anyway, y'all pay attention that this is part 2 of this interview, and he just now asked who she was after conveying all that information by just somebody calling him and saying, I just wanted to ask you some questions about the Summerwells case. And then it just unloaded, and then we're already here to part 2, and he's just now asking, who are you again? She says, I'm a YouTuber. So is there anything else?
I'd have been like, who are you and how did you get my number? Don't call me. What are you doing?
That's concerning right there to me. So anybody, you got anything else, Benny? Y'all ready?
Maybe he was expecting Molly. I don't know.
Something. He's going to talk about that too. Look, he's going to talk about that too. It gets pretty good right here.
Me out with all they want. I'll come back guns blazing. I ain't afraid to hurt somebody over my kids. That's just what a parent should do.
Absolutely. And I'm sure if one of your children were missing, you would be hanging up flyers. You would be wanting billboards up. You would be wanting that reward fund as high as it could get. You would be doing everything in your power to find your child.
Not to mention you'd be looking into
except
this guy. She's just saying you would be doing everything in your power. You would be hanging up flyers. You would be searching. You would be this. But would you not look into the person who frequently visits that area whenever he's got over 1,000 images of kitty images?
Yes.
Of course you would. So why is it so just outlandish for her? Why does this...
Go ahead.
I just don't understand why she feels like looking into Junior would be such an outlandish thing to do. It's not. And I don't even think that it's Dawn looking into it. It's everybody else.
Yeah, and why is it that he refers to this 28-year-old son like he's a child? Yes, our kids will always be our babies, but son, or your son is not, we're not saying anything that's not true. We're just bringing it to to attention. And if he finds that to be a problem, then it's not like it's not like his son accidentally clicked on a pornographic site. Like one of you said, it's
Right.
over 1,000 images, 10 charges of 100 images apiece, not counting
Aggravated.
Yeah, that's not counting the 4 aggravated charges.
Yeah.
But,
And it makes me feel like these locals over on, well, not going to say all the locals, but the ones right there immediate to 110, I feel like they react as if this is such an inconvenience to them.
yes,
That Summer being gone is such an inconvenience. And how dare anybody look any closer? Like, they don't grasp the severity of the fact that it literally could be anybody, and Summer is nowhere to be found. And at this
I think
point,
that she
you
does.
have
I
to.
think she understands that, Fizzle. I think she understands
I don't.
that.
I'm not.
but
I'm
she
talking
has-
about Don Sherfy, whatever his name is.
Absolutely. I mean, I think that she has to make light of the Sherfy situationship in order to really press down heavy on the Wells situation, right? Like, in her
Yep.
mind, she has it made up that Don is guilty or Candace is guilty. So for her to look at anybody else as uncivilized, she just can't imagine it.
Yeah, it's they, like, to what Penny said, it's such an inconvenience for, and we've seen this because it's like they just want it to don't bother us. This is, we like it quiet down here. We don't want nothing going on. He felt the need. This is the whole reason my radar went up. You felt the need to come down here and show your authority, which he says, I come out and use my jail voice. If y'all haven't catch the first part, he made it very clear that he said I had to come out of the car and use my jail voice and tell him what to do.
Oh.
I'm like, wow, buddy, come on now, so calm it down. You jail voice on us now.
Oh
It's,
my gosh.
something there was he felt the need that he had to come out there and insert himself in that. And then I felt like there was something weird about it for days, and I kept thinking about it. And it is what it is. If there's something like that, and the bad thing about this is I never thought I would get the answer to the question we had so fast. Has your son been questioned by law enforcement? Literally the next day or day after, he's on this interview and clearly states no, he hadn't been questioned because they don't think he's done anything. I'm like, wow, come on now. It's not that easy. Well, let's keep listening, because there's so much. I told y'all there's so much every little second, and it gets very detailed here in a minute.
For the Wells. And why are they not doing it? Because they already know what happened and they already know where she's at. That's my opinion.
And I totally agree with you. And your opinion, my opinion, is along the same lines. But now they set up a GoFundMe page for Don and Candace to raise money, buy food and stuff for them and the kids. And I was told, and I won't say who told me, but that they took money.
There's that inside information again.
GoFundMe that they were supposed to buy groceries and stuff for, and went and bought cell phones, brand new cell phones for Candace and Dawn and their oldest son and one other person.
And I will tell you that is correct. That's truth.
Yeah.
I know.
Told it was, and see, I wasn't hearsay. You know what I'm saying?
I was on the phone with him. I was on the phone with them when they got the new cell phones, and I also got the new cell phone numbers that they gave me.
Oh, she's special.
Once they set the phones up Yes.
You have no idea. On the first part, she had to assert her dominance and say, I lived with them on the phone for 7.5 months. I know everything. I'm like, okay, whoa now.
I didn't, the only time I've ever talked to her is that one time on Benny's panel, the first time I ever went on a Benny panel. And then before that, I hadn't heard her except for clips. But I remember when she first started, because you remember, I don't know if you remember, but do you remember the hell she used to raise in chats and whenever everybody thought the prayer garden was Dawn?
Yes. Benny is let me ask you this. Is she also Denise?
No, she is not Denise.
Okay. I was wrong then. I was talking
Those
to
are
Allie.
two separate people. In fact, I was moderately friends with Denise, and I have been moderately friends with Sissy. And in fact, Miss Denise, she passed away about 60 days ago.
Are you serious?
Wow.
Yeah, she passed away. She had some sort of medical issue at home, and she fell down and hit her head and had to get some stitches. And then shortly after that, she succumbed to a pulmonary embolism, I believe.
Oh my gosh. Well, definitely, Mr. Positive. I saw you were in here. Put her and her family in our prayers at the end of this. Wow, that right there just shows you how quick we can be here and be gone. We're not promised tomorrow, that's for sure.
No.
Guys, I'm gonna keep going with this real quick because I it's not very long, but with everything that's gonna be said, there's gonna be a lot of stopping and going. So
okay.
Yes, I did. So you're absolutely correct. They did. And they also took money, and instead of getting a lawyer to help get their boys back or fix their home or investigators to hunt down their daughter, they bought $300 sunglasses and other off the wall crazy unnecessary things.
Well, I don't know how it works. I've never dealt with GoFundMe, but there ought to be a way that GoFundMe page was set up for a specific thing, and if they're not using it properly, they should be able to be charged with something, with fraud or something.
Absolutely. I totally agree with you. I totally agree with you. I don't know who would want to fund two people that have
a lot of people hoodwinked.
Have abused their children as much as the Wells have abused their children. Them dirty beds, that filthy house, one bowl of soup, 5 spoons.
Okay, now come on.
That came from Jody Sue. That came from Jody Sue. That's something that she used to say all the time, that the kids would be fighting over one can of soup in the kitchen floor. And
she said, now that's a stretch. Now we know things are things were not up to par for a lot of people that don't that have not seen a lot of how people live around. There's a lot of people that, and I have to say this, there is people that have nice houses and stuff here, but there is a lot of people that live they have not, a house has been passed down to them through long periods of times, and that it's been run down, it's old, and that's what they have. And I've been in houses that are worse than Don Kent's, that when I was younger, that friends' houses in school that I would go to that lived way out in the sticks here. But now you're reaching, I feel like one bowl of soup and 5 spoons. I know for a fact from being up there, I've seen more than one bowl up there.
Oh yeah.
Come on now. There were that's just going too far. But
anyway. And I think that comes, like I said, that comes from Jody Sue. I've heard it from her mouth before she's ever said it on YouTube, and so I knew immediately, when she just said that, that's where it came from. And I feel like that's really kind of crappy, because Jody Sue, she presented herself as she didn't want to mislead people. She wanted the truth out there. She wanted to be helpful. But if that's not actually the case, then what you're doing is you're muddying people's perception of how it is actually up there. And I mean, I'm not saying that it's pristine and perfect, or, you know, that there hasn't been times when they've gone without or something like that. I'm sure that there
Yeah.
has been, but just wanted to point out how that little analogy right there, that little, it was stretched, and now it's being mass distributed everywhere, and it all
Yes.
came from one place.
And I don't think it's fair. I don't think it's fair that she can say all the abuse when there is nothing out there that shows us written, definite evidence.
There's no proof, I guess you can say. There's no written proof that we can see, that, and we shouldn't be
Right, that
able
has
to see
been
it.
released to the public as of this time, that says that there is all this abuse. Now, you can use a different choice of words, and you can say that, you know, now we see that there's things up there that are not up to par. But I mean, there's like you said, there's an intention behind that by using that.
Mhm.
All right,
They're trigger words to inspire emotion.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Well, Don Wells' mom was crazy as a loon. And like I said, she was married to my girlfriend's grandmother's, I think it's her cousin. And
Yes.
we've been over at that house when Don's stepdad and his mom were alive. I helped build, I think went over and helped build a chicken coop or something. And she was always
keep up with
calling
these times.
911, telling them that people was in her house in the basement making meth. She could hear them in there talking going on. And we've had to send deputies out over there before she passed away. But, you know, let's just say the apple don't fall far from the tree. He's just
Okay, so he's Don. Benny, how long has Don lived there since his mom has passed away? Do you know?
Since about between 13 and 14 years, right?
13. Okay, and so I want to. Well, I said keep up with these times because I want to know the year that he worked for Hawkins County. He said that we had to dispatch deputies out there. So
correct, like he was involved in it.
Right, you were corrections. You were in the jail now. And we're talking about a time when you're going up there and making fixing chicken coops. Was Don and Candace living there at that time? Because if not, you're talking about many, many years ago.
Jody
correct.
Sue told me that Don's mom was known as like the local crazy lady. She was a kook.
Well, there's, I think in her older age, she had, I said sepsis the other night. That was wrong. It's MRSA.
Yeah.
So I think in her older age that she had gotten, maybe, I don't know the correct word. Is it feeble-minded through sickness? Because, So, Benny, you said that she wrote books?
Yeah,
she did.
She authored a very extensive manual on how to hang and finish drywall. And Don has many, 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 many pieces. She was, I don't actually know what you would call it, but she would etch. She would take pieces of mirrors and she would etch these beautiful etchings of Jesus, one little line at a time, and they were absolutely magnificent. But maybe in, like you said, feeble-minded through a disease or sickness, but the woman was very sharp in her day. She was an author. She wrote books.
Right. I'm gonna get us the correct date right now. I've got that been verified, pulled up, and we're gonna fact check this right now because I find this to be very, very important. If you're gonna say that you didn't know them and you don't know anything, well, you're now saying, because we've known from the beginning that your girlfriend and her mother are related to the Goads, and Don's stepdad, it was a Goad. So there you you know a little bit about this family, as much as you want to act like you don't. And we're going to learn a lot more of just how much he knows right here in just a second. But okay,
Yeah,
so
you can. Smiley Story. Sorry, your Smiley Stories World says, can you still buy the book? Yeah, you can actually look it up on Amazon. And actually, in her divorce papers, she specified that, you know, the book is actually listed and mentioned in her divorce papers. I guess when they divided up assets, the books were mentioned. That's available. I have a video of that on my channel.
We've got Hawkins County Sheriff's Office corrections officer started on 4/1/2008, ended on 12/1/2008, and then okay, so there's nothing. I'm looking at the whole career history here. There's no Unicoi County on here, but I'm not saying that's not true. But then it goes straight into trucking, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4.
That's
1,
where
2,
I've
3,
seen him
4.
before.
Yeah, 4 trucking and 1.
That's where I've seen him before. Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, and
So
if you want,
he's got a pretty high employment turnover. It sounds like.
yes, very big. And he even stated in the first interview that he's no longer with the company he was with when he had to state the alibi. Like he said, my former employee when he talked about that.
Jeez.
Yeah, so something. I feel like he might.
Yeah.
There might be a temper involved here or something. He even said a coworker or somebody. Even a coworker at the jail. He said that inmates were threatening him, and a coworker. So can he not get along with people?
That's like being upset that you have to make burgers when you work at Burger King.
Yeah.
Like if you work at a jail, you're gonna have people threaten you.
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah.
All right.
Every shift, over and over.
Yeah. Probably about 20 to 30 times on a minimum on an easy night. All right,
yeah.
guys.
Starting on day 1 all the way to the last day.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna push play. I'm gonna try to get through. I think. Let me see, Benny. What did we say at the end of that? It was like 102. So we ain't got very much long, guys.
About as dumb as his mom was.
Woo.
Oh wow, I did not know that at all. So you personally knew his mother?
That's
like I said, that was when her husband was still alive, and
right. What type of man was her husband?
Let's listen to that again real quick. I want y'all to hear that what he exactly said there.
Yeah, play it back because I wasn't paying attention. Sorry, I was digging on something.
That's a low blow right there. Hold on.
Husband?
Can you put the cap?
He was a good, decent man.
Hold on a second.
Oh wow, I did not know that.
What'd you say?
Can you put the closed captions up?
Yeah.
If that doesn't affect what you got going.
Yeah, there you go.
Sweet.
One bowl of soup, 5 spoons.
Oh, that went back too far. No, I didn't. It'll go.
Don Wells' mom was crazy as a loon. And like I said, she was married to my girlfriend's grandmother's, like I said, I think it's her cousin. And we've been over at that house when Don's stepdad and his mom were alive. I helped build, I think went over and helped build a chicken coop or something. And she was always calling 911, telling them that people was in her house in the basement making meth. So you hear them in there talking going on. And we've had to send deputies out over there before she passed away. But, that's what they say. The apple don't fall far from a tree. He's just about as dumb as his mom was.
Oh, wow. I did not know that at all. So
that's a low blow
knew
right
his
there.
mother?
Like I said, that was when her husband was still alive. And
right.
What
type of...
Pretty rich coming from a man whose son is a pornographer.
Yeah.
Very, very true. Very true.
Yeah. Sorry to interrupt.
So
hey, Benny, are you on old phone or new phone?
Old phone.
Okay. All right, Cam, I'm about to send you something. Benny, I sent you something.
I got that date of 2008. If we can find out So it was 2011 or was it 2013? He's been there 13 years. So Don has.
Yes, Fizzle, that is.
No, shut up, Benny. No.
I think
What?
so, isn't it? You're talking about on the right, right?
Yes. Cam, look at your
And
phone.
maybe.
That sure is. It sure is.
No. Are you kidding me?
That sure is.
Oh, snap. Do you know where this picture came from? I'll text you. Hold on, I'll send you the link.
Well, look, it's either him or his son, but this guy's got some weight on him.
No, he used to be
There
heavy
you go.
set though.
Yeah, that's him. There is no way that's not him.
Oh my god. Oh my god. I'm gonna send you the link where I just got that from. Oh my god. You're gonna freak out.
Yeah. Oh my Lord.
No, see, because I thought I saw Don Sherfey Sr. In connection to this before, because as soon as you said he was a trucker, I was like, and then I went to the website to look. Yes, Billy Dishner. Yes, I did a whole thing on him.
Oh my gosh. So now it's all coming together, huh?
Yes.
Wow.
No. Oh my god. They really. Oh my god.
I'll give you the opportunity. You want to share that? You can.
No,
share
go
that.
ahead.
Okay, guys. So what we have come across here, and
oh my god.
I'm not
Hold
gonna.
on, I'm gonna mute out.
Potentially have come across.
Yeah, potentially. We're not going to 100% say this is factual.
Correct.
But CCS Trucking, which is the driving, or is the trucking school, CCS Truck Driving School, is owned by Billy Dishner. There's a picture here that comes up when she went to this link, and it is Brad Wishing, we believe, standing in front of an 18-wheeler. In the picture, which if you don't know who Brad Wishing is, 423 Chase.
Okay, so Billy Dishner owns 2 plots over on Ben Hill, right? I sent you that screenshot, Cam, the other day.
Yeah.
And I asked you about that property.
Yeah.
Oh wow. So
and then the cemetery, right? The
the McCary Cemetery, formerly known as Wells Cemetery, that is behind CCS Trucking School. And also really interesting whenever I was digging on CCS Trucking is that whenever you look at it, like it says Fall Branch Elementary.
Yes.
Fall Branch Elementary is down the road, but when you look at it on Google Maps, it definitely says Fall Branch Elementary. And I don't know whose oversight that was, but it was just really weird. But yeah, I mean, are you going to show it? Because I need to know. Like this.
I will. Yeah, I will show it, and I will give. Okay, so I'm going to have to.
You know what, Fizzle? I'm looking at it, and
dang,
I don't think that's him.
I don't know, Benny. I don't know.
That's pretty close.
Because he used to do trucking too.
Benny, I was the same way as you when I first looked at it. You heard me say, but
he used to be heavy set, guys. He used to be heavy set. If you look at, I don't even know if he still has a Facebook, but I'm gonna send it to somebody else.
We're gonna let you guys see it, and you can be the judge of it. How about we do that? We're not saying it is or it isn't. We say it's a very strong resemblance. Yes.
Oh my God.
It is a strong resemblance. I will admit to that.
All right. Let me. So here it comes. That's pretty crazy, Penny. Did you just come across that by accident?
Yeah, because I've seen Don Sherfey somewhere before. I know I have. I've seen I know that face. I've seen him somewhere before. You said trucking, and I said, let me go check CCS Trucking School, and then I just was going through their pictures, and I seen that guy, and I was like just like the presence, the demeanor, the stance that looked to me like him. Even the hat, he's got glasses on. He's got this. Look, if it's not him, now remember, he used to be heavy set. He used to be a little heavier than he is now.
Let me zoom in on this. Whoa. Okay, we got a bird's eye view of the inside of the truck. Hey, there's somebody in that truck. You see it?
Mm-hmm. And you know what's so crazy though, guys? If this is him, and I know we didn't see his face a lot because he was masked up all the time. And then when we did see him, he started to he was slimmer. But look, whenever we ran routes on from the Meadows to CCS and then from CCS over to Lone Star, Chase assisted in that, and he never mentioned anything about CCS being, familiar. And then also whenever I told him that there was a cemetery behind there, that it was McCary Cemetery, formerly known as Wells Cemetery, he was like, no way. And I was like, yeah. I was like, why? And he was like, because my mom is her side is McCary, and it is. And see, everybody's saying that it is him.
If you have a face, if you have a picture of Brad's face, I can try to make a side by.
Bro, I'm telling you, that is him. Oh my god.
Yeah, there's a lot of people saying that it looks a lot like him. I agree, it does look a lot like him. I can't dispute that. There's a lot of the same characteristics of Brad, the glasses, the goatee
and
that comes down and around like that.
And if it is him, how dare you stand right next to Billy Dishner and never even make mention that you know the guy whenever I've told you all these things about Billy Dishner? What in the hell? Oh, sorry.
I think we lost Cam for a second. So this is now the
Penny Benny show. Oh,
I wish
that
we could do something. We'd show you something more, but I'm seeing a lot of the gals in here saying that they think it's him.
I'm shaking. I'm not even kidding you, because I can't tell you how much I have shared with him. He went to CCS for me. Never mentioned it. Like,
did he really?
Yes. His mother's maiden name is on the cemetery. Like,
that's definitely strange, to say the least.
How dare you stand right next to that man, have the audacity to be on the internet in a picture right next to him and never even mention that you know him? Oh, I'm so insulted.
Allegedly.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for that, because next thing you know, my lawyer's going to call her.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm shaking, Benny. I'm shaking.
Okay, Dan, I'll text him right now.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
I can't even think straight.
Okay, so can you give me a little insight on who Billy Dishner is? Because I'm not really even aware who that is.
Okay, so he owns property, two pieces of property over on Ben Hill.
Okay, got it.
Wow, guys, sorry about that. So
No worries.
I kicked myself out, and then I closed my whole internet window. Everything went down because I got in a frantic mess to try to do a side comparison. This is how you are. This is tech guru at its best, right here.
I swear to you, I want to throw up, but
I believe there's something to that.
Benny, I'll just have to explain it to you. Okay, Libby says for everybody to check their email. Oh God, that's him, guys.
Check their email.
Mm-hmm.
For what?
Yeah, Libby sent us a picture.
Oh, okay. All right, so let me go in here. What's up?
Does it look like him in the email?
Yeah. He's a little slimmer in that picture, but I don't know when that picture was taken. And it's been, from what I understand, it's been a while since he drove trucks.
do.
So
It's always the right thing to do. Absolutely.
Sorry, guys. I'm
I don't know.
finding the
it
spot where we
frustrates
were.
me.
Let me mute.
No worries.
I'm sorry, Cam. I disrupted class. I'm sorry.
Maria said it's the devil's jock strap.
All right, I got us back here, guys. Let me get this going again, and what else did I have pulled up? I don't think anything else was important.
I'm sorry, Cam. Oh my
No,
gosh.
it's all good. Look, how do I hit the smallest little X up in the corner? I don't understand that. Like, that's my luck right there. Okay, here we go. My mouse, it freezes on this mouse pad, and I'll sit there and try to wiggle it, and then it'll take off to the corner, and I'll hit the wrong button.
Oh my God.
All right, here we go.
Do you think that he busted Donald's backside all the time? Do you think he was mean to Donald as a child?
Talking about Bill Goat.
I don't know. I won't say yay or nay. I know that the older generation, I mean, I'm 52. I was brought up. If I done wrong, I got my rear end whipped with a belt, a switch, or whatever.
Absolutely.
Mr. Goat was a good man by all of Donald's accounts.
By the time I came along, it hadn't changed much. It was still knockout, not timeout.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know?
well, I'm 52 years old, and
Did she just say knockout, not timeout?
She did, yeah.
Come here, boy. It's time for you to get knocked out. I didn't say
she's
the F
a
word.
strange bird.
All right, so I don't think we missed anything. What we got at right there is he was talking about was did Don?
Are you done with the wine?
No, I'm almost, buddy. Give me just a little bit. Mommy's getting ready to come in the door.
Okay, I'm hungry now.
I know, buddy. That's what she's coming with. Okay, so he's talking about the stepfather. He said, did he ever spank Don and whatever? And then he goes into this, and then we're getting close to where all the really important stuff, guys. If y'all haven't watched it, I'm sure there's quite a few in here that have, but this gets really heavy right here in a second. So I'm just gonna let it play for a good minute here.
I've been whipped in a backer patch with a backer stalk and a hay barn, and I got my whippings when I need them, and a few of them that I shouldn't have needed. But
Absolutely.
and I grew up there fine. I mean, me, I got 3 brothers, 2 living, and I lost one brother at the age of 42 to a massive heart attack. But
oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for your loss.
Thank you. We we were brought up. We no trouble. I mean, me, I don't drink. I did when I was back in the Army in Germany. When I first got over there, I left my wife at home when I was gone the whole time, and she stayed here while I was overseas. And I turned to alcohol, and it got to the point that I was about to be an alcoholic, and I gave it up. I quit drinking. I used to dip skull for about 30 years. I quit it. I don't do nothing. I get up in the mornings when I go to work. I look forward to the weekend when I get home, spend time with my son and then my girlfriend. And really, other than that,
does anybody know where I put my gold stars to give him?
Last night I went to a concert, went to sing Bill Engvall.
Oh wow!
And it's just every now and then we'll do something like that, but usually it's we go eat dinner and we'll go to the house and watch Netflix. We'll binge watch Netflix for the weekend, and then it's time to go back to work, and I get up and leave. And that's it. That's the story of my life. My son, he goes to work. He comes home. He sits at the house. He doesn't go nowhere unless he goes to visit his mom or he goes to therapy. When he first got in trouble with the law over these charges, I got him in to see a counselor and a therapist. And he's been seeing them since, I got him out of jail on May the 21st. And I think it was a couple of days later, I got him set up with a therapist. and he's been going to see.
Which
Making it
is
seem
act-
like he's
Go
making
ahead.
it seem like, Cam, like he's doing all these things for his son. I got him into counseling. I got him out of jail.
Yeah.
The thing that's so interesting to me is that there's no way Sissy or Senior here could know anything about Donald Jr.'s involvement, because Mr. Senior wasn't even involved when his son was standing next to him with child pornography in his phone. He had no idea. So,
Yeah.
you know, for these people to say that he, you know, there's 100% certain he had no involvement, that's a fallacy.
Yeah. And you know, we'll hear, I don't know if it's on this one or not. We'll have to listen, but I know for a fact he says he does verify it again in here. He's out of town and says I'm in Maryland on the 16th or the 15th and Ohio on the 16th. He is a 28-year-old man, and he
was
can
doing that day.
Yeah. What? Yeah, this is gonna get really crazy right here, and I keep saying that, but we've heard him say he knows exactly what those dates were that he had to verify his alibi. Listen
Correct.
to, so I want to kind of give y'all this little tidbit to be aware of. He will say he's gonna then ask Prayer Garden if the date was the 15th, and you know, like he's not for sure. So just listen real quick. Thank you for becoming a member.
Seen a therapist ever since.
You are a good
WNC
man.
Granny One.
You are a very good man.
Well, I try to be. You know,
Absolutely.
I go to church when I can. I mean, I love the Lord, and I try to do what's right. And I know I make mistakes. I have to ask for forgiveness every day.
We all do.
But you know, I can't stand people who, like you said, throw people under the bus just to get people
Focus.
looking some other way.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I believe in stepping forward and speaking God's truth. It can be painful, but you know what? It's the right thing to do. It's always the right thing to do. Absolutely.
I don't know. It frustrates me to no end the way the whales have done and the lies they've told. It's
overwhelming.
I wouldn't want to be them on Judgment Day.
Redirection.
Oh,
why is he
God,
pissed
no.
off about that?
Thank you. You know what you'd want to be on Judgment Day?
Yeah.
You'd want to be
in the sitting there being the judge.
You'd want to.
He should be indifferent about it.
Yeah, but more so, you'd want to be that one in the field with them too, with you, because you know you'll be took in.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
That's who you'd want to be in the field with, right there.
She just spoke as if she knows who's going to heaven and who's going to hell, and said you would want to be in the field with the whale because you know you're going to go to heaven. That's rough, man. Some of the things. Now that's the kind of stuff that I say
that's rough.
That's not needed. Why do you have to? He before that says he would rather be the judge, the one judging people going to hell.
It's as if Shuri Jr. is very sure that it's Don and absolutely no one else. I mean, he has more than doubled down. Like, he is really relaying that, you know, he's almost definitive, just, you know, minus the proof, really, you know, in my opinion.
Yeah. He was talking about his situation and then goes, I'm sorry, I just get pissed off at all the lies and the stuff they're telling up there. What does that have to, regardless of what they're doing up there, what does that have to do with you? Why does that make you mad right now? Because you're there.
Correct.
You're talking about how you're angry with basically us for putting out this information on your son, and he'll clarify that right here. But I'll keep it going.
That is the truth.
Yeah.
Them two. Oh my goodness. Like I told you, I spoke with them for almost 7.5 months, and it was more than I could take. It was very overwhelming. I started out hoping they were innocent. I wanted them to be innocent. I so wanted them. You know,
we all did. We all don't want to
Yeah.
think that a parent
would do that to a
can
child.
treat their own child like that.
No, we don't.
Now, my girlfriend, at the time me and her were split up. I went to one church and she went to another. Summer Wells and her three brothers attended that church. Summer would come back there and sit with my girlfriend on her pew, lay her head in my girlfriend's lap, and would sleep while in church.
What? Wait a minute.
Whoa.
What the hell did he just say? That Summer Wells used to come back in her pew and lay her head on her lap?
Yes, that's exactly what he said.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Huh.
Wow. That's a lot.
That is a lot. That's a whole lot. And we are now to the point, like I said, that he's just giving this information. What relevance did that? Here it comes. It's getting ready to go. It started since she made the 2-part call, which is not necessary, but and it should have been just one. So because this is maybe it should have been 2, because this is a whole lot of information. I've got 4 pages wrote down.
I mean, not only that, Cam, but he's here talking with this lady about Summer Wells. I kind of seems like that might have been one of the very first stories you told was about that. Like, I'm wondering how this fell into context with the head on the lap at this point in the story and not before.
Exactly. Chasing, I'm trying to find your question. Somebody said, great question, Chasing. Let me find that.
I mean, because the little girl's why we're all here. That's
exactly right. And
yeah.
So, was that not important to maybe, I wonder, I don't know. That was, there it is. So it says, so how close are these people? What do you mean, Jason? Like what do you mean how close? They're two. Okay. So
logistically.
From like where the girlfriend lives?
Where they live.
Okay, so you can basically get there. It doesn't even really take 2 minutes. You go past the Wells house, up Simpson Loop, and to the top. It ends up there. That's it. Yeah. So they're not even 2 minutes away, and there's going to be a lot more that just talks about how close. And he's going to say that just listen. Oh, it's there's a lot more coming right here in this last little bit.
I mean, she's precious. She's just a little doll, and to think of what happened to her and the way she was done, I don't know.
It brings
tears to your eyes. There is a theory going around, and I've heard it that Candace says they went up to Warriors Path Park and went swimming that day.
Yes.
And she has verified that Summer went under the water.
H did. Yeah. Candace is trying to say that was not truth, but H is saying it is truth. Yeah. That's Hunter,
and
the young boy that was with them.
Yeah. The theory going around is that she drowned up at Warriors, and Candace didn't know what to do or say, and got her out and disposed of her body. Now, that was a theory going around. I don't know.
And you know something?
I don't say it's true.
I'm not. I don't. I would say that it was truth, but they said that that a video.
Hunter said he went in and got her.
Yes, he did.
Here's y'all's stuff today.
Yeah. And I truly believe that. But I also heard that she was on video later when they were at a store. She was seen on video after Warriors Park.
Okie dokie. This right here is what. So she first of all didn't get the information that we just showed that a clerk said, "Hey, my manager told me that Summer could have been in the store that day with, or she was in the store that day with her mother." That's what the clerk said that the manager told her. She bashed me through this whole call, and then tries to reference some video that we put out and totally gets it wrong and said she's on camera, which there's lots of cameras in that store. So if she wasn't there, it would be on camera. But here's an example of what I was talking about. Here comes, I never put that out as fact. We most definitely said this is what the woman at the clerk at the store stated to us when we went in.
And you actually got that on film, but did you post that or no?
Yeah, I released it on video
Okay.
a week or so ago. Yeah.
Yep.
And Ben,
All right.
you remember this? You remember when we got that footage? I held that forever for a reason.
Yeah, I actually was like, man, I think it's cool to put out, but you were like, nah, I don't want to do them that way. I felt like it could be bad, and you showed a ton of restraint with that.
Yeah, and it was for the store, and I was brand new to all this, and I'm still green with it, but I was, I just wanted to make sure that it didn't hurt anything. But then as I thought about it, I saw how things went. I was like, surely that will be taken as hearsay.
Correct.
At that point in time, I people are like, why didn't you ask the manager? Well, if the manager was there, I would have. But at that point in time, I'm not trying to be,
in the middle.
like, yeah, I'm not trying to cause a scene in this store. I'm basically trying to go and just talk to people as a customer. So
plus, you and Alli had already had the strange evening with the gentleman in the van. Remember?
Oh my gosh, man, we talked about that again the other night, and if that wouldn't have just came out of nowhere, I think that I would have probably played along with it. But that was just insane at a price less food.
Yeah,
to beat it all.
In the middle of the night.
Yeah, and we won't get into that. But let me keep playing while we're on this good roll right here.
And
like I think it's a cigarette or a CBD store or something like that.
That was earlier. That was earlier. Oh yeah, that was earlier. That's before they got to Warriors Park. She did that.
He's definitely been following
then,
hard to keep up with everything when you don't.
Right.
I don't follow it.
What'd you say, Benny?
He's definitely following the case online for sure.
Yeah, because he's acting like this is just what's being said around, around the neighborhood, around the Beach Creek. But yeah, you can act like you ain't heard it and then say you heard it through. I'm not gonna say who told me all that, inside information. But I caught on to that too. Yeah.
It closed because I let law enforcement do their job.
Right.
That's why we elect sheriffs, and the sheriffs, they tell their deputies they send them to training and everything, and they got the detectives out there. And I got friends that was at the rescue squad and the fire department. I got a cousin that was in the fire department that done the searches, and I respect them and let them do their job, and
Absolutely.
I stay out of their business. So
I wanted to ask you, how long was it after Summer came up missing that you heard about it? Did you hear about it the same day, or was it?
I think it might have been a day or so later, because like I said, she went missing sometime on the afternoon of the 15th. Is that correct?
After 3:15.
There you go.
All right. Yeah.
There you go. And he just now stated right before that he has a cousin part of the initial search.
Yep.
His girlfriend lives on Ben Hill Road. Like, she didn't see all this search and rescue police officers out there blocking that little road, country road, and hear the ruckus. Because if they heard the bullhorn, they definitely heard that.
Absolutely. To expound a little bit further on his son, I sure, not for my own personal benefit, but just for the benefit of his profile, I'd be interested to know what sort of little girls he's interested in. Does he like little blonde haired girls, or does he like little dark haired girls? What's his preference?
Yeah. And that was something I found weird about his charges, because usually they, not necessarily a description, but they usually have an age with it. Correct. Less than 13 or something. And there wasn't anything like that. And I've questioned that too. But this right here, this was a big thing for me. You were consistently through the first part of this interview to now quoting your alibi and where you were in different states on those 2 days. Yes, I know that he's out of town, but I'm sure that when a child goes missing where your girlfriend lives, where you frequent a lot, that your girlfriend is going to call you and tell you that day, hey, look what happened. Your cousin's going to call you. Your family's going to call you. You're going to know about it, and you're not 2 days later.
And let me add this, because Mr. Sherfey Sr. knows about his son and his trouble with the law. It is sort of very, very convenient that this happens while Mr. Sherfey Sr. is not in town. So let me allude a little further that if you deduce the situation knowing what Mr. Sherfey knows about his son, you could deduce that at a point when Mr. Sherfey originally heard about this situation, that his son would have been one of the front runners in terms of a suspect to him. I mean,
you would.
Yeah.
You would assume that person would be, regardless if he's registered or not right now, his charges were pretty fresh at that point in time. I'm going to read. Let me see what I wrote down right here, because I want to make sure that I'm covering everything. What church? I wanted to ask him this: what church was the girlfriend attending where Summer was laying on her lap? Theory 2: Summer went underwater. I was just writing down what he said. Friends in rescue squad, cousin in fire department. So there's 3 people there in the search. Don Senior states he found out about Summer going missing a day or so later, despite having, this is everything I just quoted right now. I just want to make sure I'm doing covering everything I wrote down. Also, Don Senior acts like he's not. She went with on you. Okay, all right, yeah, we're on point right now. So I just wanted to make sure I was going through my notes the right way. Let's listen. It's almost over right here.
I was in Maryland, so I probably went to bed, and at night, and then I drove all the way to Gulfport, Ohio, to make a delivery for the next morning. So it was probably maybe the 16th, sometime on the 16th, that I was informed that she was missing.
And your girlfriend?
Or heard about it. Yeah, she was the one that told me that Summer was missing.
Absolutely.
She's also the one that took me on to these YouTube channels, and I've watched Bullhorn Betty. I'd like her to eat that dang bullhorn. But I mean, Cam and Alli made these things, and
yes, Cam and Alli. Cam and Alli are 100% for the Wells and willing to lie or do whatever it takes to stay in good with the Wells. Donald told me himself that when they first came up there, I remember when Cam and Alli first showed up on the Wells property and started even being around there. And Donald told me if they were not beneficial to him, they would get their asses kicked off that hill very quickly. So, he didn't like them. He didn't care for them. He said that, he had their number and what they were after. And if they wasn't going to be a plus for him or do anything for him, they would be gone quick. That's what he told me. And he laughed.
Right.
And, so absolutely.
He also told Sissy he owed $50K to the cartel.
Doing everything they can.
It's wicked,
they take their YouTubers.
Did you see the Dr. Phil interview?
Yes, I did.
All right, but I've never heard of them before until all this took place. You heard of the Cornbread Mafia?
Yes, I have. What do you think about them?
Well, I don't know. What I understand, they're out of Louisville, Kentucky, and they are they like to deal in marijuana, is what I was told.
Yes.
I haven't heard that they deal in anything else.
I'm going to cover everything. I'm being quiet for a reason because we're going to cover all that was just said right there. But
yeah, absolutely.
How did it go to he lost interest in her talking about us, and he instantly he wanted to bring in that Cornbread Mafia since he doesn't follow it, but he follows it to that. But let's listen.
Correct.
Yeah. Oh Lord. When I first heard
Yeah.
that part last night, I went over to Prayer Garden. I said, please come over and join me on a panel so we can talk about it. All right. But anyway, let's play.
Of course, now, everybody says marijuana is a gateway drug, so, it's possible that they do deal in something stronger. But when all that took place, Candace was just fine answering questions, but when they brought up the cornbread mafia, she broke down and she quit the interview. She walked away. And that's when a lot of people said, yeah, she has traded her daughter off to a drug dealer, and she knows it, and it was eating at her, and she quit the interview. I don't know. I had never heard of the cornbread mafia until the Dr. Phil show.
I call bullshit on that one because the cornbread mafia was years ago. It's like the New York mafia, right? Because it don't exist any longer. And also, I called bullshit on it because I personally
John Gotti and the cornbread mafia,
and they were cracking up laughing. Her and Donald telling me that they was cooking it in the kitchen, and thought it was just the funniest thing ever about that cornbread mafia.
It's crap over there with Don and Candace, and,
it's causing you to have to put off a few things as well, dealing with all of this.
Yeah, well, he's going to blame the wrong person one of these days, and he's going to live to regret it.
Yeah. Yeah, because there's some folks
that makes 3 threats in this interview.
Yep, it does.
Tarnishing their name the way he's tarnishing people's names. I mean, I think if I was H's mother, I would have already had a lawsuit slapped on him.
H's mother better be careful that she doesn't have a lawsuit.
Let me also add to that if Mr. Sherfey, by all accounts, should have absolutely no knowing. He should have no knowledge of H. So he didn't say who's H. He just rolled right along with it. So he knows who H is by watching all of this stuff.
Exactly, and he.
And there you go.
Where did that? Oh, it cut off. It's over. Good.
Again?
Okay, so I wondered why that stopped. I was like, I don't remember pushing pause. Anyway, Chasing Truth. She said, yes, he does. He has 14 charges. 10 of those charges say greater than 100 images. That's on. So one charge greater than 100 images equals up to over 1,000 images. So just like what she said, I was trying to find the comment.
One charge over 100 could be 1,000 by itself.
That's true. You didn't give a specific. It said it has the greater than sign and 100.
It could be 10,000 images.
It could be, yes. And let's make it very clear that he was putting this up on it wasn't some secret trafficking site or some secret pedophile site. It was Snapchat and Instagram.
Right, and let me add, because the very couth of that crime, you got to start asking yourself, what's wrong with this man that he's able to procure these images, but then for whatever reason finds himself cloudy minded to put them on a public platform. So, I know just through research and study that a lot of times that there's child pornography involved, there's also hard narcotics. So,
right.
You start to try to make the connection. Is Sherfey Jr., is he a dope head, and that these are symptomatic of his addiction, his sexual proclivities, or is he a sober-minded, just a natural monster, right?
Correct. Also, so there, that's a very good point. I'm glad. That's why I wanted you guys up here, because I wanted some difference of, I wanted different outlooks on this, because I've been consumed by it. Me and Allie both have it. That one's not on. I'm using the camera one on the laptop. Allie just walked in, guys. So
Allie.
Hey, Allie.
All right. So where was I going with this? What did she say at the end? Oh, I wanted to go back to what was said that she stated that Don said about us. And I'm glad Benny's up here because he can talk about this from what he knows, because I don't even know what he's going to say about this. But when I first went up on that property, it was by so I got in touch. I talked to Don on lives through on Shares Lives when we were praying and stuff, and then it was from I think it was Michelle from We Can Bring You Hope. Introduced us up there, and we talked to him. My first conversation with Don was, Don, I'm here. I want to help you find your daughter. I want to help see if we can be of any assistance, but we're going to go wherever the evidence goes. If I said that to you, and you had said something on the phone I'll kick them off this hill if they don't benefit me, that would be a good sign to kick somebody off that hill, right? If they
Correct.
tell you, right? If it's the way trying to paint that picture. I've never, as to this day and time, I've never had Don's never said anything out of the way like that to me or my wife or anything. So I don't know if he did say that behind. I can't say that because she was talking to him all the time. But if you take what she said she's 7.5 months like she lived with him. Well, I know for a fact they haven't been on good talking terms for how many months now, except for
a little bit. But I'll tell you what, when she says she's been on it for 7.5 months, let me tell you what she was actually trying to do was drive a wedge between Candace and Don and seduce Don to bring himself and the 3 boys to Ohio, where she lives at. So
that's right.
She was already in the very early hours of this thing trying to monopolize as a seductress who had no channel. You couldn't even quantify why she was having contact with Donald, because there was benefit. She just legitimately was a little bit kooky then, in my opinion.
Right. And the thing too about her, I have never even spoke a word. I've never even been on a phone call, a chat or anything with this woman. And she has such an, I never knew that I was disliked this much by her till I heard these interviews. And we brought our part of this information out, and the next thing I know, she was talking to him on the phone, the interviews, and I learned a lot in those days, and I was like, wow. I just want to make it very clear that Don does not control what we cover. To be very clear about it, Don didn't even know about this information till I came out with the live on it. He called during that live stream, and he was not privy to the son having those charges and stuff. And I think he called in later on that same live stream. She plays where he calls in and they get into an argument, but I'm not going to do all that. That's not what I was here for. I wanted to hear this information, guys. If you haven't listened to the first part, I strongly suggest that you go back. We broke down the live, the first part of this. You can watch it that way, or you can watch it over there. The link's in the description below. I just think that the main points of this is he did state law enforcement had not questioned his son as of that time, which is I guess it was 2 days or 3 days ago. So I don't know as of right now, but as of 2 or 3 days ago, the father says law enforcement had not questioned him.
I mean, imagine this, Cam. Imagine somebody's house burns down over there on Ben Hill, and then imagine you've also got somebody that's out on bond for an arson. Right?
Yeah.
Don't you start to put things together like automatically if you've got a child that we believe has gone missing and we have an individual that frequents the area who has aggravated sexual exploitation charges against a child, like you automatically put him in the basket, right? To not put him in the basket suggests that you know something more than you actually do. Like you know, let's issue an alibi for this man. Let's find out where, you know, the particulars are with him. But to immediately run and say that, you know, my son doesn't have anything to do with this, but I was in Maryland on the day, right?
Yeah, that's a huge claim, and
Yeah.
we've talked a little bit through the past few days of inherited immunity. We've talked about
Correct.
is that, you know, that is a real thing, guys. Despite, I mean, that is a real thing, and
Now,
you know,
I will add though, you know, in this case, Cam, you might be able to rule out the inherited immunity based upon the fact that he's been charged for the pornography charges.
Exactly, and that's, you know, that's a good point. I'm glad you brought that up. But somebody had brought that word up in the chat, and I was like, well, you can take that because you know, his charges for the for that stuff are in Sullivan County, you know, which his father has worked in both counties. So yeah, you really can't argue that. I mean,
you can't. I mean, what that would suggest is that law enforcement is cherry picking, you know, Shuri Jr. for what they think he's good at, you know, good for. You know, I personally, I believe that it could be some sort of clerical error where they're like, you know, his address is actually in Buntville. So, you know, when you look him up on paper, there's really nothing to suggest that you need to talk to him unless he was, you know, unless someone saw him there or in the area on the day of the situation, you know?
That's right. Did you see what I shared at the very beginning of this? Aries Fire, that's a very good point. Cam Donwell stated on your live that he does not know Don Sr., yet Don Sr. stated this info about Summer in church with his girlfriend. He said they were going to separate churches, but that still doesn't, you know, the girlfriend knows who this child is sleeping on her lap and converses with him, and you know what I'm talking about.
Absolutely. I mean, you would have.
You ever heard that part?
Is it on the second?
It's on the second one. She was there. I forgot. She hasn't heard that part yet. Yeah, well, we'll go over it. It's a lot, but he said that on this part that the his girlfriend and him had been broke up, and she was going to the church that the boys and Summer were attending, and Summer would come back to her pew and lay down in her lap and go to sleep. Just out of nowhere, came out with that information and again to a YouTuber that he's never talked to before.
Can I add something really quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
The thing that I'd like to add is that, you know, I have no actual virtual knowledge in my own life, just only by case study. But you know, a lot of times these sexual exploitation, you know, the actual charging it changes if they're willing to cooperate with the state. So, you know, I don't know what the full brunt of Mr. Shuri Jr.'s charges initially were. It would be interesting to know if they were more exaggerated and he's been, you know, plead down. I don't know if he took a plea or
he hasn't
what he
been
did.
deported all yet for it.
So he's only been charged, arraigned, and released.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And he was released on a $10,000 bond, which with a bondsman is $1,000. That's a very low bond for that charge. For those charges, yeah. And he was and was only in jail for a night. Was arrested on the 20th, out on the 21st.
Yeah. I mean, here in Dallas, man, if you were to get caught with materials like that, you know, you're going to be looking at $50,000 bond or something. You know, and that's with the 10% option already applied. You know, You're looking at a big bond to get out on child images. That's neglectful. You know, now with a light bond like that, one could suggest to themselves that potentially he has cooperated and that they don't deem him some sort of flight risk or what have you.
Right. Very true. I'm going. Somebody asked. I think who knows. I'm on a different screen right now. I've got the Ben Verified pulled up right here. I will see what he does. What Junior does for a living, because he did state that he goes to work, comes home, and goes to therapy, or in between his the father's house and the mother's house.
And you know what's going to be interesting to shake out through all of this, Cam, is where was he at in the world logistically? Like, was he at his house obtaining these images, or
It was
he
at
at
the mother's
Ben
house
Hill?
in Sullivan County. That's where the warrant was handed down, on Muddy Creek, which is the house 8 minutes away from the Evelyns.
Okay, and not to mention, you and I were talking about the Evelyn Boswell Summer Wells, and that's lotto odds, in my opinion. Those are absolutely lottery odds that son and father could both be on a road where a child has went missing.
And then to go a little bit farther, which I went over this at the beginning a little bit with Penny, but for them to not only they have the same court date, same time on that court date, April 7th at 9 a.m. with the same judge. And if I, on the first part of the interview, thought the senior starts going into why he first goes after me and says, and then they're saying that there's something connected with this and with the Evelyn Boswell case. Well, I can explain to you why, because they're going for Judge Gooden, and he had a slot opened up, and then he stops because he knows, like, where's the slot when they're both at 9 o'clock? There ain't no slot between 9 and 9.
No,
unless you're talking about 9 p.m.
Right. Now, in Mr. Sherfey's defense, they may have told 50 different defendants to be there at 9 a.m.
Right. But when you make a claim after that to say that both Evelyn's case, both Megan's case and your son's case is going to be continued, and you're talking in the future of April, how do you know that? He doesn't know that. Now, what you say, Alli?
Also, in his defense, though, he may know what phase her situation is in, and he may know that, she's going there for a prelim. And that, or whatever, I don't know what phase she in. She might be in jury selection, or she could be in
bond reduction. Bond reduction.
Yeah, it could be just a very nominal appearance that would actually equate to a continuance, because they're not going to drop her case that day. I mean, so anything other than dropping her case or her accepting guilt, because when you accept guilt, it just moves on to a sentencing phase.
Okay, so you're right, and I pulled her court stuff the same way I did his on here, and which one thing I would like to, we're going to get into this. She has two separate charges for murder, and it's the first time we've seen that, and there was only one child, so we're really curious to see where that goes. So that will be a bond hearing. They will either just say, no bond, we're not going to lower it. And this is how many times she's went for it, that babe?
2 or 3.
They have. So this is what's weird on this bit verified, and I paid for it. I'm sorry. I'll go real quick with the job question. The son, which I clicked on the 28. They're different middle names. 28-year-old. He also has. Okay, so this one looks like it has a little extra stuff in it. Advanced call center technologies. And then there's the trucking companies again. So this, I'll have to put them side by side and see if the dates are different. But that's the only thing I see is a Kaplan University online and then advanced call center.
Yeah. What's interesting about this, about you saying that this is the second or third Boswell bond reduction hearing, that would certainly allude to the fact that somebody has the money to get her out, right? Like, they don't keep doing bonding as if, like, if you can't make the bond, you just do one bond hearing and you never fight for another one, because you're like, no matter what they're going to do, we can't touch the bond, right? So it seems as if they keep trying to get this adjustment to her bond because somebody can make it.
Yeah.
Potentially.
That's very true. And I wanted to add something that I just noticed when I was looking at that been verified. So not only does Donald Sherfey admitted in this interview, either the first or second one, that him and his son both drive red trucks. Well, the younger sibling from Donald Wayne Jr. also drives a red S10. I love this been verified. It is so thorough. It goes through the exact color. It's the bright cherry red or Marlboro red. I can't remember the exact word. So all three of them, there's actually a picture too of them, the father and the son, standing in front of the two trucks, which looks like to be Ben Hill Road. So I don't know if that means anything. There's just a lot of coincidences, and you know, and I'm not saying that because there can be, but they're there, and we have to take them into account. We said we saw
Absolutely.
them, right? Yes, that's who I was talking about. Chasing. That's the son with the S10. I'm trying to think if there's anything I've missed. There's so much that relates to this. You know, we didn't go over this on this one, but
Susie Carter's.
What?
Look at Susie Carter's.
Oh, Susie.
Yes, sir.
Well, okay, Cam. Okay, here. Let me put this up. This is what Allie wanted me to put this comment.
You also made mention, Cam, that that Boswell and Shuri were the same age, correct?
Yes, they were both be 28 or
no.
What? No, what is it? 2-year difference or I said that there was 2
26
years.
and 28.
26 and 28. Yeah, he's 28 right now.
I know how old he is.
So if we got, even if that's the case, they both lived on Muddy Creek Road. They probably went to school with each other. There's a possibility.
Right.
Possibility.
She was only 18 in 2020, I think, when she went to jail.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah, she was 20 or younger.
I thought no.
Yes.
Oh, the boyfriend. It's her
boyfriend.
Her boyfriend.
Was
okay.
Older.
Good job. That's why I have that woman right there. Yeah, her boyfriend. So that's what it was. The boyfriend that owned the restaurant in Kingsport.
His
family owned the restaurant in Kingsport. Are the same age. Junior and him are the same age. That's where I got the same ages together.
Okay.
What I was going to say is did we talk about this? I'm just trying to cover everything before we get off here. He did state on the first interview that, or with the interview when he's on camera with Molly and all them, that he did know who Jody Sue was. He talked about those people up there, this people over there. Prayer Garden asked him on her interview, so Jody Sue, he said, "Who's that?" He acts like you don't know her, and then they keep talking about it, and then he said, "Oh yeah," and then he soon recalls it. I found that weird.
It's kind of a selective recall.
Yeah, I'm like, it's either this is an important one, Benny. We didn't go over him talking about the boys are always in the road playing unattended, including summer. The kids is what he says, and including summer. He makes that claim in that phone call. So yeah, dude,
that's not good because that puts the children available to his son potentially.
That's right. And listen, and Don called me on that live that night that it was during the middle of that live. Some people probably were watching this, and I let him talk. He said, "Let me talk over that." So I unmuted and I let him talk. And I said, "So Mr. Sherfey says that he pretty frequently saw your children in the road playing unattended, and said that they rode their dirt bikes up the road and everything." And Don said, "Absolutely not." What did he say exactly?
He said that they would let the kids go right down the boys, not Summer. The boys ride their dirt bikes, and they could go down to the curve and then come back up.
Like the curve of the driveway, or where?
He said.
What curve?
I don't know. He didn't specify what curve.
Well, he's trying to say that he had. Yeah, that's not true. That's what Don. No,
could be the curve at Simpson Loop.
Could that be the curve? Well, that would be the road then.
Yeah, that would be the road.
And
he said, "Not.
I don't know, because the only curve would be the driveway curve, and I know that they
could see that there.
Yeah, and I don't know. So we'll have to verify. But I brought it up because I think there was somebody actually in our chat that was been with us for a while. I made the statement. I said, I don't think that Candace was necessarily. I said helicopter mom because of where they live. She didn't have to be. The country kids
Correct.
play in their car, all that. That's what I meant by that. And I told him that. I said, so, is it possible that they, might have went down a little too far and he caught her down there in the road? He said, no, and what was this? He said something about, well, I'd get charged with neglect for that. And he said, and I would gladly so. Did he not say that on there?
But in all reality, I think there is a very high probability that they did go down there occasionally, right? It's what kids do. They do what they're not supposed to, right? So
all kids do. How many times did your parents?
Absolutely.
Yeah, dude, I did what I wasn't supposed to all the time, and usually learned the hard way when I got caught and got in trouble for it over and over again. Same thing.
Yep.
So, that's just something that it's hard for you to say that, that a child is not going to do what you tell them not to, because
correct.
They're all defiant, unless you have one of those rare breeds of children that just are the best well behaved, and I'm not that blessed myself.
Either.
Penny, thank you. Been quiet. Did you want to say anything?
Oh no, I'm listening, and I'm just looking into some things over here.
Hey, listen.
Yeah.
She pulled up. Allie didn't get to see this. She pulled up CNC Trucking School. CCS Trucking School in Fall Branch, and there's a picture that looks to be like Brad Wishing standing in front of the truck, and she's trying to verify that. I have the picture right here. That's gonna take some sleuthing right there. I think that there's she's like, her eyes got big. That's a possibility, guys. Hey, listen, I want to thank everybody that joined me tonight. Thank you, Benny. Thank you, Penny. Is there anything else y'all wanted to add? This live went to 2.5 hours, but I think it was worth it.
Yeah,
absolutely.
A lot of information there, and guys, I hope that we have really did the due diligence and went through things the correct way. I hope that you would agree, and that we've done this fairly. I don't think that, we have human emotions. Been called everything through that interview, but I really tried to be professional about it, and be fair about it. Just ask the questions that sometimes are hard, and people might feel like they're being attacked, but I think they're important. If it was your children in your community, would you not want this guy to be questioned, and at least one way or the other you talk to?
Yeah,
I would
definitely.
I mean, of course, as well.
Benny,
our main objective isn't to look at every person and find out how they're guilty, but rather look at every person and find out how we can immediately clear them and then move on.
Yeah.
I've actually asked Candace what church other than the SDA church they went
Thank
to.
you. Yeah.
And she's replied Solomon Temple.
That's the one. That's where the law enforcement set up.
That's where the media was.
That's where the media. Okay, that's where the media tent was. The one where the prayer garden for Summer was, right there at the three-way intersection where the bench and all that was for her. Are you sure?
I'm asking her now about.
Yeah, that's Mount Carmel Church.
Yes,
where that law enforcement set up there. Yeah.
I remember that vividly because when I made the video when we went to the little prayer garden.
And of course, she stole that name so that we can't ever say it without sound like we're referring to her.
When we went
of course.
to place where there is a tree or there's trees and you pray.
Yeah,
and a bench.
And that place actually they didn't a lot of the stuff. I remember we kind of reported on this. When the church they stopped having the little prayer garden for Summer,
Well, they said that it was not just a prayer garden for Summer, that it was a prayer garden for the church and for anybody in the community that wanted to go there.
Yeah, and
so a lot of the toys and the they got the wreath, I know.
she got the wreath, and there wasn't much. A lot of the other stuff was given to other people.
Yeah.
Other people, and I was like, wow, they should at least gave the family the stuff from there. But
Hey, Cam.
Yeah.
I'm going to send you a screenshot right now of Candace's reply about the church and the Sherfys. If you want to take a look at that, I didn't want to just read that out, but you can, if that's something you want to read out, then check that out.
Okay. Okay, let me see. Yeah, I just got it.
That was in terms of Summer laying on Sherfy's girlfriend's lap.
Okay. So this is this is Candace's reply to Don Sherfy Sr.'s claim that that Summer would sleep on his girlfriend's lap. She says, well, Benny says, only the SDA church? ? She said, Solomon Temple, then SDA. He said, did the Sherfys go there? He said, did Summer know Sherfy's wife? Candace replies, I don't know if they went there, and no, Summer did not know them. So, and I believe that, we know that the Wells know who their children gravitate to at church, because Miss Ross, and that's something that they are very aware of. So,
and you just, I don't see Don and Candace, allowing the kids just to go lay their heads on the laps of random people in churches. I don't think it's that way.
Well,
so
I don't know. She seemed like she was able to wander freely.
She did at the church. She was able to go down the aisles and stuff, but she usually gravitated to.
What I will say about that,
Robin, and well, go ahead.
How long had they been going to?
Correct.
If they,
good.
If they've
very
been
comfortable with everyone,
then yeah, I would let my kids go and.
That's right. Yeah, but that's not, that we're talking like in reference of when we went to church our whole lives growing up.
Right, but even if they went there for a year or longer, and Summer knew the people, and they knew the people in the church.
Well, the thing about this is Candace would know his girlfriend,
right,
and know that's where she sat at, and if Summer, you could even go as far as to ask Candace, say, did Summer ever sleep on anybody's lap at that church? Just
I'm just saying that's the difference between probably what happened at the SDA, or how things went at the SDA church and how they went at Solomon's Temple. Because they might have went to the SDA church longer.
We have the video and picture evidence of Summer sitting next to Robin and looking at David Dotson like she's scared to death of him making cookie and hand and sign language. So I think she was alert and had judgment about her, and if she didn't like somebody or something. So we're just going into a deeper hole.
A discernment,
yeah. Guys, I thank y'all again. If y'all got anything else, I'll let y'all roll off, and I'll finish up with a prayer. You can stay for it, whatever you want to do. It's up to you, Benny and Penny.
I'm I appreciate you letting me come over.
Yeah.
Again, you guys are sort of the front runner in the research field, in my opinion. So I always come over and get a wealth of information to unpack.
Well, I appreciate that. And listen, I want to make while Chasing is in here, and if anybody else is listening, if somebody else had talked about this information before us, that's awesome. I do not care if we was first, second, last. I don't care about that. I just want to help and add to it, and let's get the good information out. Let's do this work and do it the right way.
Absolutely.
You know, it's not a race. Go ahead, Ben.
Sorry, we got just a little bit of a lag, I'm realizing. Candace just replied that she can't remember Summer sleeping on anyone's lap during their time at Sullivan.
Well, that's even, right there. Right there. And, you know, there's the thing, though, that we'll never get past. And I made this argument in a chat the other night, and they called me a smart ass, pretty much. They said, I said, well, you know, there's a problem with people that want to constantly call Don and Candace a liar, but when it comes to things like, well, Summer would never wander off the property. Well, no, they're telling the truth about that. That you can't pick and choose. You can't call somebody a liar and then say, well, they're 100% telling the truth about that, but they lie about everything else.
It's very tedious.
Go ahead.
You figure out a continuous stream with anyone and everyone that we deal with, just like in real life, right? I mean, it is what it is.
Right.
We don't probably continue to delve in and deal with liars, and and we really embrace the truth.
Right. Well, you know, and that I was at a channel that had a different opinion than what we have, and I said that because they were talking about something, and I said that, and their main comment back was, "Oh, he's being a smart aleck." And I said, "No, I'm really not. If we're going to look at things, and you're going to say that, you're going to have to be 100% in belief that that's your belief on that person. You can't say that they." And how will you know that? How can you say, well, they said that's 100% true, but because the internal lie detector tells me so? No, no, that's not fair.
No, not
and that's just that's the way I try to look at it. But guys, Benny, if you're more than welcome. If y'all want to stay for the prayer, I'll pray and I'll close this out. I don't know how y'all feel about it. You good?
Yeah, I'm gonna say it because as soon as you end the broadcast, we're gonna talk.
Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, chasing, and that's why I brought it up. I know that a lot of people had told me you talked about this information before, and but then again, I said, yeah, but she told me she came over and left a comment and said, y'all did some good digging, and that really meant a lot coming from you, because you're the best at digging information. That's a fact. So, we appreciate that. We just want to be able to get good and solid and accurate information, and it's not a race between who gets it first and who does this and who. We got to let down these walls and let go of these grudges and move forward, and use maybe Summer's birthday as a start off date for us to do better, and for the cases in the future for us not to have this backbiting and bashing each other. And if somebody says, even with a different opinion, hey, do you know anything about that? Well, this is what I've got. We can work together and we can build stuff that will help people and families and change people's lives, because you don't, like I said earlier, Benny, you weren't in here, but there's a lot of we can give families that have missing loved ones a lot of peace in their heart, just for a little bit of our time to share a little bit about a case. Maybe
absolutely. We can bring hope.
Yeah,
bring hope. We can ever hope to do.
A family member. We've had people reach out in our Cracking Cases Facebook and Messenger, and they'll say, nobody's talked about my loved one's case in 3 or 4 years. You take 5 minutes of your stream and say, I wanted to bring attention to this case again. You don't know how much that means to some people. Just to have
Cam, check out Charlie D's comment. Pretty interesting. I don't know if you saw that. Charlie D says that they also saw a comment the other night when you first posted about Don S. and Don S. Jr. Sheriff Lawson commented, "Good find." I got a screenshot of that.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
No way. Hey, man, email me that screenshot at crackingcases@gmail.com. If that's
email that to them.
Lord have mercy.
Right now. Please go over to your email and email that so we can see it while we're still up.
Dude, if that's for real, yeah, I might just fall out right here in a second. I don't know.
Just make sure there's nothing hard to hit your head on.
Yeah.
I'm a nurse. I got him.
It's fact. Dude, when I was like, no way. Oh, Doug, that's all.
Yeah, could you please forward that over? Wow.
That's crazy, man. Is he really chilling in the chats?
You know he's got to be, bro.
I hope so. I would hope
He
so.
absolutely has to be.
Yeah.
Dude, I have to. What's his? I never saw that comment. I'm trying to find that one.
D's.
Did you find it, babe?
Yes, I did.
You did?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I've ever seen. I have to see the name in here to see if
we know.
We know?
Yep. Says
Okay.
I also saw a comment the other night. They got a screenshot. So
please
hopefully they get
email
that
that to me and I will pull that up right now.
Yeah, please, Charlie D's. We need that.
How far up was it? Pretty far?
And 908.
There it is. Okay. Oh no,
she says
Charlie.
yes, so serious. Did you get it?
No, I didn't get the email yet, but did she say she sent it?
She said she was very serious that she had
sorry, it. I don't know if I don't want to call you by the wrong.
They said email. I think they're in the motion right now of emailing because they asked what was the email.
Oh, female. There you are, Charlie. Thank you. Yes, and I remember you. Sorry that I didn't remember the name right off. Sheriff Lawson commented, "Good find." Yes, please send me that. I'm gonna frame that.
Yeah, that's not good.
It's not
actually.
Yeah.
Sheriff Lawson, you know what? You ought not be doing things like that. I mean, if this is legitimate, you ought not be doing things like that because that certainly shows, a lack of investigative couth. I mean, here you are. You got cracking cases. Really knocking out things that you should be doing. It sounds like. I don't want to put that on them, but
yeah,
it is what it is, right?
I mean, if it's facts, it's facts. But
that's it. Charlie needs the email.
It's right here.
Krakencases@gmail.com.
Right there, without the G on the end of Kraken. Here, I can do you better one right here. Beep. Going across the bottom of the screen there. Guys, thank y'all. So that's awesome, man. If that's, I feel it's not awesome, but on my side, I feel wow.
It's a bittersweet thing.
Bittersweet.
You've got to be doing something right whenever the sheriff's popping in on your channel.
Oh, wow. Well, absolutely. Look, man, there was some. I don't know if anybody remembers this, and I'm sure they do. We got some really hardcore followers in here, and we appreciate y'all. Thank you all for being awesome subscribers. But y'all remember with all the stuff with the divers and even the search efforts that TBI would come out with the answer to those certain things, like right after some lives with the dive issues. I was like, no, that's a coincidence. That's that's the way. But it happened a couple of times, and I felt like maybe that that's a good thing. I think. Yeah. We all have the potential to step up to the next level. It'd be good.
Yeah.
All right, guys. I think will you keep an eye for that email? What I'm going to do is
I don't see him commenting anymore, so I'm wondering if maybe they're trying to shoot it over to you. Hopefully.
Yeah, what was the screen name? I wonder. Probably Sheriff Lawson.
Charlie D's.
No, I'm talking about Sheriff Lawson's screen name in here.
No.
Is it Ronnie Lawson? The Ronster.
I think it's probably something more egotistical, like uncontested. 40 years uncontested. That's his profile name.
The People's Champ. Yeah. Hey, no doubt. There it is. For real. Hold on.
You got the email right now?
I got it.
Shut your mouth.
sheriff.
So we don't know if this is really the real one. Now this could be a
That could be
Troll.
faking.
yeah, that could definitely be a troll.
Yeah.
But you know, if it's not, then
Well, I mean, at least you have a source of origin to know where to go find the comment
holy
and
crap,
check it back.
Qwerty, do you see this? Is that from Chasing? What?
Holy
What?
Holy crap!
What?
Oh.
Look at this.
Wow.
Chasing.
Qwerty, thank you so much for real.
You are awesome.
Gang, gang.
Yeah.
Gang.
Gang. Dude, I'm gonna pull this up. That like really. Thank
That's
you
a
so
blessing.
much.
Thank you.
That's
Is a blessing to us, guys. Thank you so much. Here it is. I'm going to share it right now. It's I don't know. It could be a troll, but it's got his picture and.
Well.
Right,
so I guess sleuths, if you're watching, and you'll get the information of where to go and start looking, you can reverse engineer this thing and see if it's actually him.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I mean it'd be a good little be a good little scavenger hunt for this evening.
Nope. Can y'all see that? Hold on.
No.
Well, you just zoomed.
There we go.
Because it's on there twice.
It is on there twice. It's up at the top and hold on.
And at the bottom, yeah.
There it is at the top there.
Great job.
Dude, if that is, I don't know. I mean, it could be anybody for real. You know, we got
You're
trolls.
absolutely right. Probably
No,
best to not
just
put
call
a
him
lot of
tomorrow. Just call his personal phone and be like, "Hey, bro."
He'll be like this. He'll be like, "Don't you know that I actually hate you? Don't ever call here again."
Oh.
All right, guys, I'm gonna pray.
Hey, he's actually a nice guy.
Is he?
Yeah, we had a pretty lengthy conversation. When the coffee cup popped up in the play, we talked for a good 45, 50 minutes, and once we got past the cup, he's actually a pretty solid dude, in my opinion. But there again, he's been doing this job 40 years, so he knows the lingo. But not to take anything away from him, he was a pretty solid dude in his convictions. He sold me.
That's awesome, though. And did he? You're always going to have your sheriff on his media presence, and then you have the one that talks to you and lets their guard down and because I know local sheriffs around here in our small towns, man, that they're we met Rex Carter that was running for sheriff, and he was one of the nicest people.
So nice.
Dude, one of the nicest people ever.
I wish that he had been our sheriff.
He was going to try to remodel our community and make it to where people that had substance abuse issues like possession charges, that they were going to really make an effort to try to get them outpatient help before instead of locking them up.
Nice.
He was trying to do that reform here, but that he didn't get elected for it. But that was during my time of being really hardcore into my substance abuse counseling stuff. And dude, I don't know, man, there's good people out there, and I used to have a really bad disdain for law enforcement, but I learned that after I put my reckless behavior to the side, that maybe I was bringing that on myself, the behavior, the attitudes cops were giving me. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
So
yeah,
it's sometimes you have to look at yourself and say, am I the problem? Am I the reason I'm getting treated this way? So and there's a lot of denial. But did he send an email, Mr. Positive?
Yeah, my phone.
Is there a lot of them on there?
I don't know. My phone died.
So
let me ask one more question. Is this screenshot I can tell by the bottom. This screenshot is from Prayer Garden, isn't it? Yeah, clearly. Yeah, no, that's definitely not going to be Ronnie Lawson.
That's from in Prayer Garden?
Yeah, that's from Prayer Garden. See, look at Veritas right between 120 acres and Kate U. You see how it says PG?
Yeah.
She has all the trolls on her channel when she goes live. She has a Don and Candace, or a Sissy Wells. I mean, she's got the craziest name trolls for this scenario, this situation in her chat every time, dude.
Dude, I saw one named Don Schlong last night, and
yeah.
So Creighton had the picture of Mr. Sherfey on it, and he was over in, I can't remember what, it might have been that one in that chat, because I was over there watching the interview last night. I mean, just people, I mean, there's tons.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm gonna let's close this off in prayer. I'm gonna stop sharing this, guys. Thank y'all for being patient through this long live stream. Y'all been awesome. Thank you again, Cordy. That's awesome.
Thank you so much.
For you to give us something like that, like, that's above and beyond. And we
absolutely,
guys, thank you. Okay, I'm gonna lead some prayer. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for the things that you bless us with in our life every day. Thank you for the people that you bless us with in our life that we might not even ever get to see their face, but they're here with us every time we go live. They're supportive, they're uplifting, they're encouraging. Through some of our hardest days, those people have lifted us up and don't know us from Adam, but they truly support us, and we appreciate them. Lord, we appreciate the people that you put in our lives when we don't deserve to have those people. God, thank you for just being able to maybe be a help in some way or another against all attacks from the enemy. We try to stand firm, knowing that you guide us and that you're with us and that you never will forsake us. Lord, please let us, have answers for Summer Wells' case. Please put a hedge of protection around this little girl. Her birthday is tomorrow. It would be so amazing, God, if it was your will and she came home tomorrow, and the person who's responsible for this, who no matter who it is brought to justice. God, I wanted to lift up some prayer requests to you. Their daddy's girl, they need to find an apartment very quickly. We pray that you make that opportunity happen for family, that they don't have to ever feel like they're not going to have a home or be in a place where they don't know what they're going to do. Lord, let that opportunity happen right now. We ask that you pray for Denise, and we pray for Denise and her family, Lord, that she was taken from this world just like that. And Lord, let us never take for granted what you give us, the precious gift of life and breath in our lungs. Let us not take that for granted. Let us hug the ones that we love dearly. And let us hug them and hold them close, and know that we're lucky to have those people, God. And thank you for just having faith in us when we don't ever have faith in you, and we forsake you all the time, Lord, but you never do that to us. Dear Heavenly Father, I lift up VP. They ask for prayers for mine and Allie's family, and we ask for Prayer Guard, and that you just touch her heart, and that she, hopefully she can put some hate, in her heart aside, and maybe we can all just hash things out, Lord, and be like adults and not bash each other. Lord, we ask for Weedleby, that you can just put their autistic daughter on a list. Pray for peace for her. Lord, open up those doors for them. Deep South Dreamer, please add a friend to your prayer list. Diane Gatlin is her name. Sorry, we asked for her, Diane Gatlin, as she goes through this fight with cancer. Lord, we ask that you just heal her. You can take that cancer, bind it in hell where it belongs, and completely heal her like a brand new body. You are the main physician. You are the main one that works in our lives. You're the one who says, if we live or if it's our last day on this earth, God, that's your call. And Lord, you make miracles happen every day, not just like in the old times in the Bible. You're working all the time. It's just if we choose to look and see what you do. And Pitbull Mama, we ask for prayers for her husband, Bill. We ask that you heal him. Dazed and Confused, we ask that they're getting sick. Just sickness, stop it with that right now, and let them just feel healthy in the morning. WC and Granny, prayers for the panel and for Cam's wife. That's what they said. Lord, thank you for these people for being selfless and praying for us. Lord, thank you for letting them have faith in us to pray for them, God. Let us, be prayer warriors for one another and lift each other up instead of putting people down. We're supposed to be intercessory prayer warriors for one another, for our brothers and sisters in Christ. It says iron sharpens iron. Let us always be there to better our brothers and sisters in Christ. And Charlie Dees wants prayer for her son that's battling cancer for 2 years. Lord, we ask that battle stops today, and that the healing process begins for her son, and put a peace in Charlie's heart to stand by her son and not to ever give up, and know that you are working and you will make these changes in their life. And finally, Kathy 117 asks for prayer for her sister, Kelly Maldonado. She lost her son 2 weeks ago. Lord, we ask that you put a peace in their heart, and that you can help the healing process to fill that void in their life that only you can do. Lord, I know in my life I put substances and things in to try to fill holes, and it never works out. God, you're the only person, the only thing that can fill the voids in our lives when we feel lost and lonely and without, Lord. And pink sunglasses, and we ask that you pray for her mom Dixie and her grandma Mary. God, thank you for everything you do, and we ask all these things in your mighty name. Amen. Thank you, guys. That was a long one. Thank you, Mr. Positive. Was there another?
Amen, brother.
Guys, I do listen, man. You guys trusting us to pray for you means a lot, and I hope that I do a good job and I cover everything. The way that you wanting your prayers to be lifted up. Who is it, eh? If Rocky 605 is in here, Allie just pointed out that you asked for a prayer request on the board. I don't want to leave anybody out. What was the issue?
Well, first of all, she has terminal cancer.
Oh, man.
And her son has been battling addiction for 2 years.
Okay, well, we know that. Okay, Lord, we ask for Rocky, lift her up in prayer. Ask that you heal that terminal cancer. I know that's got to be the scariest thing, to know that that a doctor has given you a time limit or said that this sickness will take you out of this world. God, we don't have to succumb to what man says. We have to have faith in you. We see people that live and come out of some of the most craziest situations that nobody would ever believe, that man says we can't live through. God, you walk us right out of it. Let us have faith in that. And her son that's battling a 20-year addiction, we know it's possible to stop those habits, because that's what it turns into, is just a bad habit and something that we feel like that fulfills us in life. We ask that he can find you and replace that void again, Lord. In Jesus' name I pray. I don't want to ever leave somebody out. Guys, thank you for
Amen.
That was good. And thank you guys for tonight. I really enjoyed it. Look, I love this every night. I call it out. We went from 1,000-person chat to 700 because every time you pray, they roll out. But
It runs them out.
That's okay, though, because
Hey, Cam, somebody sent you another super chat.
What? Nuh-uh.
Gang.
Where is
God
it?
is good, gang.
Holy
man,
I don't even see it. Where is
it's
it?
more than the first one.
$300.
Oh, God is good.
All the time. Look, man.
God is good, brother.
Who
God
sent that one?
Gang. That's who?
I can't find it, but I got it up here at the top. Cordy, thank you so much for that.
Yes, that's beautiful.
Thank you so much.
She just sent $500.
Oh my God.
Listen, I don't know if you heard what we go through these. I'm going to be really vulnerable right now and talk about something I maybe I shouldn't, but I'm going to. We sit and get attacks. Y'all just do this for money. You do this for that. Me and Allie and I we've been going through some hard issues, and we don't ever complain because we know God is working. That right there is 100% proof that God's working right there. The things, you know, if we have faith in it, we don't ever have to look the other way or think, well, what are we going to do? Because it just happens. Guys, that right there is thank you so much. And I'll tell you this too. My unemployment I've been fighting for over 2 years.
Almost 2 years.
Over 2 years. I said this on Doug last night, but it's been sitting on a card since 2020. I didn't know that. I finally got a text paper and I was able to track it down. But that's how you know when, God's always on time. I didn't need it back then when I was supposed to get that card. I needed it right now. And it's sitting in a card that's going to be shipped to me. I waited for that for 2 years. But that's kind of just a testimony and that I wanted to share that, and it doesn't always have to be about money. It can be a health thing. It can be somebody that comes back into your life, your children. I don't know. I've seen a lot of blessings through this, guys, and I know that all the people that ask for prayer requests and stuff. Thank you for trusting us to pray for you. I gladly will do it every week. Thank you, guys, again. Is there anything else? Holy, for Emily Flotilla. To honor my 39-year sobriety, she gives $39 super chat.
Nice. Congratulations. That is a big deal. That's like a whole career of sobriety. You go, girl.
Yeah. That is, I'm going on 6 years. And if I make it to that day right there, it's one step in front of the other. And it's, to be honest, I don't know how your walk was. I feel like if you ever do fall down, get up and brush yourself off and keep walking. Don't let it knock you down, and don't dwell on it and make you feel like you're less than or you can't do it. We're human. We just got to keep pushing. That's awesome, Emily. That is awesome. God bless you. She told me this in y'all's chat earlier on the live you guys did, and today's been a good day. Y'all had some amazing things happen. I feel like that information is coming to to a head, and we're finally maybe going to find out some stuff. We can only hope and pray. Tomorrow's Summer's birthday, guys. Don't forget. We're gonna, what we're gonna do over here is I'm not gonna if I do a live, I'm not gonna have super chats. I'm not gonna monetize. We're just going to we're going to do some good things for summer. I'm going to put a purple background, wear a purple shirt, have candles. Is that what they asked for, Benny? Was the candles with the
Yes. Yep.
With the
candles and a porch light or a purple ribbon, if you could.
Purple ribbon, yeah.
Yeah. But I think over on my channel we're going to do some silly dancing, and you're just going to do some fun stuff.
Awesome. And the play music. I know that Prayer Garden. Terry, she asked, I know Chasing's going over there and some others. She came over to my live yesterday and asked me if I would care to come pray for there. And that's, that's an honor. Yes, I'll go anywhere and pray. I appreciate that people like my prayers. I just talk to God.
That Bible will travel.
Yeah. What did he say? Yeah,
Bible will travel.
Listen, man, I just pray like I'm talking to you or Allie or whatever. I always was taught that you talk to your Father like He's right there with you. It doesn't have to be it doesn't have to be a prayer that is a rehearsed
long distance.
Yeah, rehearsed long. Yeah, that ain't my style. So maybe we can, I appreciate that, Terry, and I'll see you tomorrow. Jay is for Justice actually sent us an email. I talked about this a little bit. She fully apologized out of nowhere, and that took a lot. And the apology was for real, and it was heartfelt, and I really appreciated her. She asked me yesterday to stop by her live stream. I will gladly do that. I want to lead by example. I will go places where I'm not liked just to prove a point that
Absolutely.
that we're gonna do better. We're gonna be better. And if it doesn't have to be everybody, if it's one or two of us at a time, it'll slowly get there. We just gotta move. We gotta move in a better direction. Anyway, I'm done. At the end of the day, everybody wants justice.
But justice doesn't have to be carried out with hate.
All right, guys, we love you, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Bye, everybody.
Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.
Let me.